Greetings, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Midsummer Mysteries, a Clockwork Dominion novella, miniseries, extravaganza.
Ooh, I like novella. That's
right?
cute. Yeah.
It's like a little novella. Yeah. Right? I think so too. Somebody mentioned novella last week and I was like, I like that. It's a little novella. Hi everyone. I'm so happy to see you all in chat, and I hope you're happy to be here with us today for episode 2 of Midsummer Mysteries. Episode 1, I believe, you can find on YouTube. There's a Table Story channel, and if you want to watch it, you should. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. I'm not the boss of you, but be free. It's up to you. I also have really wonderful, exciting news, which is this show is being turned into podcast form if you want to listen to it, and you can find that podcast over at tablestory.tv/Midsummer Mysteries. Probably, but it will be at tablestory.tv within the week, which I'm very excited about, and I'm very excited. Thank you all for being here. Your being here and watching the show, it means a lot. It helps, we're doing this for you, and supporting Table Story is great. So you can always, if you want to, if you're hanging out here for the first time, give a follow if you like to Table Story, because this is, one of the best RPG channels on Twitch, and I have done the numbers, and so what I'm saying is actually objectively true, so... See, look at that. See, PB's looking all embarrassed, but I have run the numbers because I'm kind of in a weird number crunching space, which I would like to just say is really basically procrastination on doing actual work. But in the process of procrastinating actual work, I've been like, let me just check things out. I was like, yep, objectively true. Table Story.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I'll tell you about it afterwards. But yeah, no, but I've been running numbers. Yeah.
Just imagine you up late at night being like, I won't do my taxes, but I will crunch these numbers.
It's true, actually. That is actually 100% true. You have called me out, and what you're saying are all facts. I was like, taxes seem less exciting.
The bad numbers,
Yeah.
Once a sibling, always a sibling. It's my job to call it.
So I'm so happy to be here, and what I'm really excited about right now is to introduce our players, but the last time we did this, I did this, I did it as, sort of like this, and I thought that I would do it like this again. I don't know if I should tell you, I've thought about this quite a lot, and I have a name for who this person is right now. I'm sure you've heard of, what is it, a gossip girl? Like, hey, Upper East Siders, all of that. Yes, well, I'm certainly not gossip girl, I'm gossip man, which you could, if you wanted to, shorten to GM, right? Do you see, right? It seems like Draconics is sort of embarrassed for that. I don't know why. Anyway, what I'd like to do is to introduce our players and have them each tell us, who they are, who they're playing, and, really, I'd like to know if they might recap the last episode, because not everybody here who's in chat has seen it, and I thought I'd like to know, what happened last week? Ooh. Indeed. I'd actually like to start with Murgles. Murgles, please tell me, who are you? Who are you playing? And then I would love to know, what happened last week?
Sure.
Just tell me, Gossip Man,
I love you,
Gossip Man. Hi,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
Murgles.
Hello.
I'm playing Nell Harrington for you today. Well, I've
Who is
returned
she?
to England.
Wait. Who is this Nell Harrington? I'm so sorry. Not everyone knows you. I mean, I've looked at my.
You're telling me not everyone knows the Nightingale. Excuse me.
Well, the Nightingale is not my social register of important people of the empires.
Oh. Well, okay, I guess that does make sense. I guess I'll have to live with that one. Yes, well, I'm Nell Harrington, otherwise known as the Nightingale, and I am a highly respected novelist of sorts. Yes, and I have come to England on an invitation, one that I wasn't sure that I was going to go to. To be honest, I'm still not sure. I'm there, but I'm still not sure whether I'll stay. I arrived in England, terrible weather, as expected, and met with some, new friendly folks. Listen, they could talk all day about the clockwork. Oof, get me out of it. And, well, I quite like that Tilly. Tilly, she's quite nice. Yes,
I'm so sorry.
She's lovely.
No one can get out of the clockwork. That's ridiculous. I mean, the clockwork is the universe and the order of the universe that keeps us all where we're supposed to be. I mean, who would ever want to leave the order and the safety of the clockwork? I mean, really, it's so strange.
Gossip Man, do you want me to keep speaking because you're boring me
please.
to death?
Yes, please, go on.
All right, so, as I was saying, I've arrived at this party with the lovely Tilly and her friends. I don't really remember their names, to be honest. And I was guided by this small child to meet with the lady of the house, who strangely looked exactly like Tilly.
Ooh.
She gave me a job. I'm still not quite paid up for that job, but I guess I'll start and hope she gets me the 25% up front. I might make it 50, just for the inconvenience. And, yeah, it's just some crazy things have recently happened with the lady. I don't know. It's just very bizarre.
Oh, well, if I recall correctly, I mean, I'm looking at my notes, seems that you gave her a flower that pricked your finger and that it bled.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
Oh, so you gave her also a bit of your blood. That seems strange, don't you think? Well, I'm sure it's fine.
I mean, yes, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it is.
I accidentally pricked it. I mean,
yes. Oh, if I recall correctly, I'm so sorry. Just looking at my sort of my mind. Did she not also give you a book to give to Tilly?
Oh yes. Thank you for reminding me of that, Gossip Man. Yes. Yes. She also told me that I had to protect Tilly, which I found rather strange. But here we are.
Didn't she also call Tilly the key?
Yes, and she called someone else the door, but I wasn't clear on who was the door.
So odd.
Yes.
She said also something about Kalechi, didn't she? That fellow, the inventor fellow?
I can't remember. Can you remind me?
Oh, I think she said something about he was like the eyes of some sort. We would find things. It's very, I don't really. I wasn't there personally, even though it seems like I am. But just in that way that somehow you always know all the things when you're the gossip meister, Yes. Well, speaking of Kalechi, Draconics, who are you? Who are you playing? And I really would love to know what happened last week.
I'm Draconics, or Drac for short. I use he, him pronouns, and today I'm going to be playing Kalechi, a dishonorably discharged inventor. I mean, it seems important. I feel like it's probably going to come up eventually. And what happened last week? Well,
I'm so sorry. You're not just an inventor. I mean, I don't mean to speak out of turn, but you seem a little bit. I mean, you've got the features of sort of. Well, how do I say this?
A Nephilim.
Yes, a Nephilim, and I mean everybody knows a Nephilim are sort of like the offspring of like fallen angels, sort of like maybe demons or some such, and they never die, and they have. I don't know. They just
I mean,
sort of scary, aren't they?
I don't see how it's relevant, but being a Nephilim has been very useful. Not all my inventions go according to plan, so being able to come back is honestly very useful.
You make
Actually, I think I have. Yes.
you make inventions that explode or some such? That seems
I mean, they
dangerous.
don't usually. They're not. That's not the initial idea of them. But sometimes, there's going to be some flaws every so often, and you have to move through them, or they move through you sometimes. But you come back, you stand back up. But what happened last week?
Ew.
I was invited to Viscount Bainbridge's estate, which was odd. I haven't heard back from him in about 6 months, which honestly was very peaceful. But the only reason I'm really coming is because of the ballroom I worked on. Seeing everyone being in use would be quite nice to see if there's any improvements I would like to add. Make sure that nothing explodes as well, because I guess nothing exploded while I was working on that.
Ooh.
So that's always, you should always be ready for some kind of something to go wrong, even with ballrooms. I noticed that for some reason the weather, well, not for some reason, actually I have the calculations. The weather's been just not really the best recently. My calculations have been off by a few days for some of these things though, like the blood in the well. I thought it was going to be for about 6 days. I predicted about 6 days. But according to Zenobia, I met Zenobia. I haven't seen her in like 25 or 30 years, which is great.
I hear that she's been invited to the estate, and she's just some sort of country woman, like a poor
I invited
country
her.
woman. Oh, you did?
I invited, yeah.
Well, how scandalous. Well, I'll just put this on-
Scandalous?
Yes, well, my gossip sheet, really.
It's a ball, isn't it? You're meant to invite people. Anyway, I noticed that even when I was away, the Viscount kept working on the building, which was honestly, I guess, I would prefer to do it. Everything seems very mediocre.
Ooh.
I could have done better, especially with the glass ceiling. Structurally, it's not as sound as it could have been, but I mean, I guess it would survive.
And there was something with the
some rain.
wallpaper, right?
Yes, there was
Wallpaper.
Yeah, it was just not. You didn't like it too much. I think.
No. It was just an awful color in general. Two, there was some symbols on it. Like alchemical
good
symbols.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm staring at those for a bit.
Over dinner, no one.
No, well, I don't know why they.
I mean, science over dinner is actually honestly really. I could talk to you about science for hours. I actually have calculations if you want to see them.
Oh, nice. Well, I imagine we will look at them afterwards, but but somebody who does know all about your calculations, I actually would like to sort of check in with PB, the Berry of Pumpkins. So, if you might, who are you? Who are you playing? And really, I would love to know if you could recap the last week.
I'm PB, and I am playing Tilly for you today. I'm not so sure I can recap because I don't really know where I am or what has happened or if I'm dreaming or drunk or drugged or what's going on, but I'll tell you something. I went to the bathroom. I think my heart started pounding, and I went to the bathroom with Otto.
Yes.
And all I can focus on is someone that looked like Otto, but wasn't Otto, talking to Otto through the mirror. Otto seemed to not be frightened by this, but also speaking, and something was happening, and then all of a sudden Otto was gone, and in the mirror, and standing next to me was this lady Otto, and then this green hand reached out and grabbed Otto and took Otto away, and I feel like this is the best booze I've ever had, or the worst.
Oh, well, I don't mean to speak out of turn, but I am, after all, Gossip Man. I've heard gossip and rumor that you drink a lot, actually.
Oh, I do, and that's why I'm so surprised, because I can normally handle my own, but I swear this was supposed to be just wine. I wasn't expecting the green fairy or anything like that.
Well, I mean,
you know,
I wouldn't put it past you to go and drink absinthe and whatnot. I mean everybody's
but you
heard.
can taste absinthe, and this didn't taste anything like it.
That's fair. I don't want to, bring up too much gossip and scandal, but, everybody says that you come of a very good family, but that you, are a changeling, aren't you? You're not completely human. You've got a bit of a...
Does that bother you?
Well, no, I mean, I'm not bothered at all. I'm just saying it's somewhat scandalous. I mean, most people think it's somewhat scandalous to be like half...
Most people, but not you.
No, not me. I'm quite open-minded. I mean, this, I just... Now, you said you saw someone come through the mirror.
Yes. I did.
Oh, who might that have been? Oh, is that you, Luxy Games, over there?
Oh, over here?
Yes, yes. Wait, who are you? Might you just note who you're playing, and could you give us a recap of your last week? How has it been?
A bit fuzzy, yes. I'm Lexi Games. I don't know if you knew that. Gossip Man did a pretty good job of introducing me. I'm sorry, I liked Gossip Meister better. I think that was very
I like that better. I'm the Gossip Meister. Indeed. Yeah. GM, Gossip Meister. That's all I'm here for.
That's exactly what it stands for. And I will be playing Buttercup. And from where Buttercup stands, she
literally.
saw...
No, sorry.
Quite literally from where Buttercup stands. She saw Otto, as you call them, and went to sort of get them, and now is somehow standing next to someone you call Tilly, and Otto is nowhere to be found.
Are you sure you didn't have anything to do with that? Because when you say get them, I mean, from where I was literally standing, it looked like you were trying to take Otto.
Do my hands look green to you?
No. That's a good point, I suppose.
Well, it sounds like we have a bit of a conversation to have. We might want to get into it. I will just note for those who don't know, this whole thing is a bit of an affair. There's an annual celebration at the Viscount Bainbridge's estate every midsummer for, well, probably thousands of years. All the most important people in the UK come to this estate. Only the most important people, of course. And they frolic and have a lovely, lovely evening and days. And they spend their days doing all the things that wealthy, rich aristocrats do.
Like lounging around.
Like lounging around.
Nothing.
Exactly. Doing nothing. Well, that's not particularly fair. Sometimes they eat. Sometimes they smoke pipes, they talk about the goings-on, and then they lounge a bit. I mean, they might do a couple of other things.
They write letters.
They write letters? Yes.
You two wouldn't know, you three wouldn't know anything about writing letters, in this time period, would you?
No.
I've been known to be in or around an affair.
Perhaps in a state.
In a very nice estate.
Oh, well, yes. So it's just like a lovely thing. And of course, normally this culminates on Midsummer's Eve. There's a traditional fox hunt where the gents go off into the woods, the 1,000-year woods, and they do this fox hunting at midnight. It's so lovely.
Wait, I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, please.
Why is it called the 1,000-year woods?
Oh.
Are we allowed to know that?
It's 1,000 years old, these woods. This is one of the oldest woods in the UK, you know.
Oh.
Super ancient. Well,
that's straightforward. I thought it was maybe something spooky. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's not spooky at all. It's just that these years, these woods have been here for at least 1,000 years. There's nothing spooky about that, right?
No,
of course not. No. Well, anyway. Oh, that's strange. Oh, I suppose I should just mention that, well, the Viscount, who's quite old, he just got remarried, recently, about 6 months ago, to some woman we've never seen before. Well, someone's seen her, but I think she's Swedish. I think she's some sort of Swedish nobility, I think. No one's actually ever seen her. Anyway, this Lady Mejbel.
I've seen her.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Is she appropriate?
She looks exactly like Tilly.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. I'm so sorry about that. Oh. Well, you have something going on with your eyes, so perhaps you've saw something, perhaps. I don't know about that. Wait, what is that? Well, so, anyway, she's taken over, and she's invited all sorts of, no offense, strange people, and by that I mean, well, these people, to come to this party, and she's not even going to have the traditional fox hunt. She's just having some sort of steam-powered bicycle race right in the middle of the 1,000-year wood. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, I'm quite scandalized. So, in case you want to know, in this area, there have been all sorts of strange things happening right now in the middle of summer, and it's been snowing outside, and it's been cold, and, well, there was utter chaos, and by that I mean there was a cow that rose from the dead and started killing people. It was terrible. I mean, everybody has heard about it in the village. All right, I don't know what to say.
Absolutely ridiculous. Once again, I'll just add in, oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, I predicted that as well, but not that part about the victims coming back to life. That was also new.
With their fantasies and...
Well, and I suppose I should say one other thing. The snow was not in a circle around the estate. In the estate itself, there was no snow at all, just on the outside, as if there was some sort of circle drawn. And Kalechi sort of thought there was some sort of magic going on about some sort of ritual. Well, there was no snow until, well, somebody drew a doom card and all of a sudden it started snowing inside the estate. Briefly, that was a bit odd. I don't know. Well, I suppose we should open our curtain and find out. Let me see. Wherever should we start? Oh, I know. We should probably start with perhaps the most explosive thing. In a lavatory, a water closet, a loo, a WC, one of those places where you go and rest, a resting room, as it were. Well, a strange woman came through a mirror and sucked Otto through on the other side. And right there we see, well, Lady Tilly, well, of a very good family, actually, well, standing in front of a Lady Otto, and I will leave it to you then.
Where is he? Where?
Did your cheekbones move?
What? Where? Not boy, wrong! Boy, where?
Boy, where? What is happening? Okay, I think this wasn't wine.
What?
I'm gonna Otto. I think someone put something in the wine. My heart's racing. It feels like there's two of them. And I swear I just saw you go through that mirror and come out with high cheekbones and beautiful eyelashes. Your eyelashes.
Buttercup at this point is completely ignoring you and has both hands pressed up against the mirror that you think she just came through.
Yep, I think so. I think we either need to vomit it out or we need to maybe go sit down somewhere.
Quiet, please. Hello?
Oh my, your hair.
Hello? Who? I can't get through. Where are we?
We're in the lav. We're in the lavatory.
Yes.
We've been drinking fairly heavily, having been here for maybe a half an hour.
But this doesn't look like the other place. This looks like
What
place
other
I
place?
remember from before, but it couldn't be. That would be. And you don't remember seeing a boy with red hair? You?
What?
A boy with red hair, like me, but as you said, cheekbones different.
Are you... Otto?
I don't know what
Is
that
there
word
something
means.
you want to tell me?
I'm-
Otto's your name, I think.
My name is Buttercup.
Okay, Otto? I appreciate you telling me this right now.
Okay.
Why don't we take you upstairs to your room where we can have a nap?
Trooper, what
Buttercup.
action would I have
Excuse
to
me,
do
Buttercup.
to... Yes. What action would I have to do to break the mirror that I have my hands on?
Oh, well, that would be, of course, I would say, there's so many ways to do this. I would say melee if you're, well, it depends on what sort of physical combatant are you? Are you a person who is well-trained and proper, like a lady or a gentleman, perhaps using fisticuffs or fencing? Or are you one of those sort of low types who might brawl about in the streets, who might use melee?
That is a great question, and I'm so glad you asked it. Seeing as how maybe there's a chance I may have some fey aspects to me, do you think that I could use something unnatural to break this mirror?
My understanding is that you actually do have a little bit of melee to you. You fight in a little bit of a, well, sort of unladylike way. So I would say grace and melee, if you would.
So I would just
'cause
draw
melee
a
is
card
graceful.
and add that to my grace and melee?
Yes, please.
Oh!
Well, oh, a -4? But what is your grace and melee together?
That would be a 5, so I would get a 1.
That is enough.
Oh.
Describe to me what you do to this mirror and how it shatters to pieces.
Oh, no.
I think that as Tilly is continually talking, the thoughts sort of start flooding Buttercup's head, and she doesn't understand what's going on, and takes a hand and bangs it against the glass, trying to break through and quiet whatever's happening in this lavatory, and it shatters into pieces onto what I assume is a countertop below.
And I suppose I shouldn't. I should remind you, actually. You probably don't know this. The room you're in, this lavatory, it's very nice. It was nicer. There's a shattered mirror and little pieces of broken glass everywhere. There's also on the floor snow. Quite a bit of snow on the floor as well, as if it has been snowing indoors. That's strange.
Buttercup just picks up a piece of the mirror and is just like staring into it. I'm gonna take. Are you all right? I'm gonna take this. Why is it snowing inside your bathroom? I think I'm just gonna back away from Tilly at this moment, because Tilly seems to have, like, the room frozen.
Oh, she has indeed. I imagine that Tilly is somewhat distraught and distressed by what is happening, as a matter of fact. Oh, and as a matter, let me actually, I think I can, there we go. Oh, hello. I'm back in the spot. So, Tilly, this woman, might I tell you something about her?
Please.
I don't mean to, and I'm going to say this because right now Pumpkinberry's not here, so she can't see what I'm about to say, which I find to be quite exciting. She seems vaguely familiar to you. You don't know why or where, and you can't place it exactly, right? It's just that you feel like you might have seen her somewhere before.
Do I have a fuzzy or a sickly feeling about seeing Tilly before?
Have you ever been to a party? And it's a large party with lots of people, a gala, a banquet somewhat. And perhaps in the corner of your eye, you think you might have seen someone, but you weren't really paying attention because you were doing other things at the party, perhaps. And if you would have seen her at all, it would have been you were very young, maybe like 15, 16, 17 years ago, perhaps? From not this place. Not from this place. But you're not quite certain. You might not have seen her. She just... It feels like... It doesn't feel the same exactly, but it feels like maybe you might have.
It's on the tip of my tongue, almost.
Yes, like, do I remember seeing you? You're not certain, but there's something familiar about her. While you ponder that, let us go back out to the sort of drawing room where our guests are lounging, as a matter of fact. Because if we do that, we might... I'm stalling, really, while we get to Pumpkinberry back. But if we might... Drac, you are in this drawing room with all of these people, a number of sort of fancy nobles, and you have the Professor Keller, of course, who he seems quite upset, actually, that you are contradicting his ideas. He goes, well, if you'll excuse me.
Yes, please leave. I feel like I was talking to a brick wall. Clearly, the breakdown of the clockwork has nothing to do with the empire. If anything, if there is a correlation, is that the larger the empire became, the more unstable the clockwork became. Which obviously isn't quite the cause, because correlation does not always equal causation. But that would make more sense in suggesting that a larger empire would actually solidify the clockwork. What are you looking at?
And he's looking up as flakes of snow start falling inside the drawing room. And little bits of snow start to fall. And he looks up. And everybody in the drawing room is like, everybody sort of starts feeling a little bit like, and you hear Zenobia, who walks in from the side with her coat, well, actually your coat, just looking a bit heavy. She goes, "Ooh, no, what's this now? What's going on?" what's going on here? As like snow begins to fall inside the drawing room.
This is interesting. I have been off by a few days, but I haven't. None of my calculations predicted this would happen. Is this a breach?
And the professor goes, well, I certainly hope not. That would be terrible if we had a breach here. I mean, all sorts of creatures. And he sort of takes out a small little notepad and like a small little pencil, and he starts writing sort of down notes. So I certainly hope not. Well, wait a minute. And he looks at you.
Yes,
And-
I'm waiting.
He looks at you, he takes a step back, and he sort of bumps into a woman, Lady Vivienne. And she goes, oh, I say, why did you do that to me? And he goes, well, did you notice we're having some sort of corrupt event? And, well, there's a Nephilim here, isn't there? And she looks at you, and it's like all of a sudden, it sort of starts going about little gossip and rumor that something very corrupt has happened clearly as the snow is falling, and there is a Nephilim in our midst. This is, I believe, when Nell will make her way down the stairs from that strange meeting that she had. And as you walk in, somebody just touches you and goes, as the snow is falling in this drawing room, light snow, somebody says, oh, I say, be careful, there's a Nephilim here, and that might be why this is happening. You know, they're sort of, well, they're all corrupt, aren't they? And she points to Kalechi, who's sort of standing, perhaps, you know, like...
I don't think Kalechi doesn't. He probably hears everyone murmuring, whispering about him, but I think he's honestly more interested in the snow that's happening, and he has like his little notebook out, like taking down notes.
I'm sorry, him?
Well, yes, I mean, he's unnatural, isn't he? If something like this is happening, do you think we should disinvite him? Well, it's not even my party. Well, I don't know what we should do. What should we do you think?
Boo! Oh, maybe it was me. Oh, I do love the snow. If you'll excuse me, and I walk away and head towards Kalechi.
She faints. She just drops right to the floor. She just faints dead away. And
I just walk over her body and I just take a step over her sleeping body.
Could you, if you don't mind, make a presence refinement check?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and the difficulty is a 6.
Okay.
If you would, I would appreciate that very much. If you want to draw Doom, you totally can. It would be totally fine.
2 for 2, let's go.
What is your presence and refinement?
All right, so my presence is 3, and my refinement is 0.
Oh, you don't have really good manners. That's probably what happened when you just stepped over a fainted woman, just right over. Yeah. So that's great, but you miss it. So I would like you, if you would, on your character sheet, to take your esteem down 1 step. I believe it's currently guarded.
Yeah.
Which now
So
makes
now
it
it's hated.
hostile. Horrible. People, as this woman, a noble lady, faints dead away, and you just step over her fainted body, people see how inappropriate you're behaving in public. And there's like, people are very scandalized by your behavior, and they sort of, as you continue on your walk. But as you pass by this woman, Lurch, the butler, who looks like looks like a raisin, that a grape that somebody is slowly sucking the juice out of. So he's just a little bit
Halfway raisiny.
halfway raisiny, like a 1/4 raisiny, sort of comes out and sort of like lifts up this young woman, and other people come to help. And like as good gentlemen and ladies would do, they come to help this person, and sort of they bring her to like this divan, this fainting couch, and they sort of try to help her out as you just walk right on past her.
Yeah.
Miss Harrington, are you seeing this?
Yes. Do you know why that's happening, Letchy?
Either my calculations have been very off, or we're going through a breach, which is honestly harder to calculate, so I'm not going to take that personally. I think it might be a breach. You should probably
explain to me
keep
what
watch.
a breach is again.
I will note that it's probably not a breach. It's probably a lot of corruption, and that's the next step after a lot of corruption is a breach, and nobody wants a breach. Like if it were a breach, it would be real bad.
Real bad. Okay.
Real bad. But this is like one step towards that. Like you.
Like the sign of it potentially being a thing soon.
Yeah. What it means to you is that basically this area is getting the veil between this area and chaos. The Pontus is getting thinner and thinner, and once it's completely gone, well.
Okay, so I think Kelechi is going to be like, whoa, the breach is, and it opens up his notebook and just a bunch of notes and goes, actually, hold on. And he turns to a clean page and starts drawing it. Like, so we're on this, it draws a line. We're on this side of this is a veil, we're on this side of it. And there's the other side where most people won't really want to experience what's on the other side or what could come out of it. This is proof that that line, the barrier between us and them, is weakening and could lead to a breach where monsters and death is imminent.
Sorry, so it goes from snowing indoors to monsters and death is imminent? Just if I can get this correctly.
Sometimes there's
That
a
seems a
bit
bit of a
more of a
jump,
gradient,
no?
but I mean,
Okay.
it seemed like a jump, but it's happened quite a few
put my
times.
hand on Kelechi's arm and I pat it very lightly, and I'm just like, yes, well, enjoy your stories.
At this moment, the snow stops falling, and at that moment, you both hear, really, I imagine everybody does, the sound of glass shattering down the hallway. Like a sort of violently, I would say. Not just like you know how you could have glass shatter because somebody's singing a really high note and it just shatters, by itself. That's very exciting. Or you could have glass shattering because something or somebody hit it really, really hard in a kind of a violent way. Like there's there's like the kind of innocent shattering that just sometimes happens, and there's like kind of the violent shattering that I suppose also sometimes happens. You hear the more violent shattering down the hallway, which, Kelechi, you remember that is the way that Tilly and Otto went.
We should probably head over there. One, that might be the breach happening, also
Monsters
Tilly
and
went in
mayhem
that.
and death? Oh, okay.
Yes. Do you want to head? I'm going to go over there. I think Tilly's over there, and I don't think
Sure.
death is quite her thing. And he's going to rush over.
Do you also rush over there, Nell?
I will saunter.
Saunter. As you're sauntering, you hear a young man. Well, hold on. He's probably not actually that young, to be honest, because I'm doing the math. If the Viscount's about 60, so this fellow's probably 40, I bet, in his early 40s.
That's pretty young.
Pretty young.
Don't know where. That's pretty young.
Well, I have to say,
I'm at least 3 times his age.
Wait, but you're unnatural, aren't you? Well, so this fellow goes, excuse me, everyone. There's nothing to worry about. This snow is a party trick. Have champagne. My father will, of course.
It's not a party trick. What?
It's a party trick, everyone. It's a party trick. And this.
Kelechi, I told you.
It's not a party trick. It's the beginnings of a possible breach. What?
And
It must have been really good if it fooled you.
servants come out with
get fooled.
trays of champagne, and all the sort of nervous people are like, Ooh, it was a trick. Ooh. And this man in a very expensive tuxedo, sort of like a day tuxedo, though. It's like a morning suit, sort of the gray pants and all of that, is like, everyone, it's fine. My father will be here and it'll be lovely. Drink up, everyone, is what you hear him say as you two are heading towards the sound of this.
Why do people insist on covering up the truth? People need to know when these kind of things happen.
The truth is out there.
Kalechi, I don't know what truth you're talking about. I mean, there's reality and then there's fancy tales,
Which is what he's spinning, the fancy tales, right? He's yeah.
Kalechi!
Where do I hear that coming from?
I am like peeking out of the lav, and I'm like so low to the ground. So you probably look to see where, and then you look down, and there I am, and it's just my head peeking out from behind the. Psst, we've got a bit of an issue.
Is that where? Okay? I'm on my way.
Now.
Okay. You're good.
What kind of? Oh, all right.
Just get in here.
Oh, okay.
And don't drink that. And I point to the person who's walking by with champagne. Put it down. Don't drink it.
Champagne.
Don't drink it.
Champagne.
I like to be in with a clear head, especially when things like this is happening. But thank you.
Milady, champagne. And then he's about to offer you champagne, and then he recognizes who you are, and then just walks right on by, not offering you any champagne at all.
Excuse me.
Excuse
me.
Right by.
How rude! How absolutely rude! England is supposed to
Emergency
be the place of
over
the most
here.
lovely. But
Now.
listen. I trill into the room.
What is happening?
Well, you walk in and there's this very nice restroom, this lavatory. Very fancy.
I didn't work on this one.
And no, it's you didn't. It's got snow on the ground, like about 2 inches of snow. There's a mirror, or there was a mirror, but it's been shattered into a million pieces. It reminds me of that story of the Snow Queen. You know how she had that mirror and it shattered into a million pieces, and one sliver lodged into the heart and eye of Kai. Be weird if that happened. I wouldn't worry about it. Shattering a mirror is not a big deal.
Did you see that man refused to give me champagne?
There's an Otto who looks like there's a person who looks like Otto. If Otto were a girl,
it's behind the. She's behind.
Yes.
I hid her. I basically said I'll pretend that I broke the mirror. Okay, we have a bit of a problem.
Yes,
there's a
would
broken
not give
meal.
me champagne,
No,
and now I want one.
No, you really don't. Something's going on. Okay? I can't tell if there's something in the champagne or if something really strange is going on, but you remember how I went in here with Otto?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, you can come out now. Buttercup. Yeah, you can come out now.
Okay. Hello?
She's gonna look at Buttercup and get just uncomfortably close.
sort of like a changeling, clearly, sort of long ears, the red hair that Otto has. Looks exactly like Otto if Otto were a woman. But wearing what?
Yeah.
Wearing.
I think that she's wearing what you would deem more traditional fae wardrobe than anything else. So she's sort of got lots of layers and they're very flowy, and her hair kind of looks a little messy for your world.
Perhaps also, I can imagine, perhaps, if you might, leaves and flowers sort of woven in, right, to the clothing, sort of, perhaps your clothing is made of spider webs, right? Like it's like the threads are like spider webs, and they're bits of leaves and flowers, right? It looks, on one hand, like clothing that people in this world would wear, but if you look closely,
You're a little confused.
yeah.
Would you say what I'm wearing would be indecent in this world? Because I assume it's a little more indecent than what you would expect here.
I would, let me just put it this way. If there's order and there's chaos, and order is not showing your ankles, certainly not. I mean,
My ankles are out, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Ankles out.
I just didn't want to
Ankles
say that
and
loud.
See my
elbows
knee.
out.
You can see my knees.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's true.
I can't tell if I want to be your best friend and like
Or if you
parade
don't wanna
you
be seen
around in
with me.
front of everyone. I mean, I'm wearing pants, so equally as scandalous.
Ooh,
but
yes. Perfect.
Okay.
Casually, like looking, like takes her hands, like.
Is this
She's not.
glamour? Because I can't tell if I'm having a heart attack or heart palpitations.
Who are you?
Buttercup?
This is not Otto. Buttercup.
Right?
Who is Buttercup?
You look just like Otto.
Who is Otto?
Do you know? You don't know Otto.
Are you related to? Do you have a relative here?
Well, not here.
Wait. This is what the butler said he saw. Remember? The butler said he thought he saw Otto. This is it. He saw you. Is this some sort of joke? Because I mean, listen, I'm all about it, but I would much rather play it on the people out there than me.
I think that I shift the glass that I'm holding from the mirror into one hand and then put my other hand on your, like, what I assume are very nervous hands and say, "Am I funny?"
Well, I mean, I think it would be very funny if we went out of the lab, for example, and paraded around in the...
There's snow on the ground.
Yes, and I thought that was strange.
The boy here with the red. Where are they now?
I think we need to get out of here. I think we need to get out of here right now. We need to go to your
Right now?
room. Yes,
Wait,
we need to get, because they're going to come in here and investigate the mirror any second now.
Okay, but
And I
can
mean,
I just
you
quickly
guys
take
just,
notes?
maybe
then?
you just go
How
out
are you
right
here?
now. Can we talk about it in another room, please? I'm suddenly panicked. We need to get out of here before they come in here. And I mean, I'm fine to take the blame. I can do this, but you guys need to get out of here and we need to figure out what's going on.
I mean, as far as blame goes, I think everyone's blaming me anyway, so that's fine. Okay, let's
Why would
go
they
to
blame
another.
you? I'm Tilly. This is totally up my alley.
I mean, I'm a Nephilim.
Okay, but I'm a
Hurry,
drunk.
I'm missing
Yeah,
someone.
let's just go. I'm gonna peek outside and see if anybody's coming yet, and if we can just dart out right now.
When you peek outside, what you hear is the sounds of a party sort of gearing up. Clearly, someone is working really hard to have people not freak out by the fact that it was snowing indoors, and so there seems to be quite a you hear. I'm so sorry. You hear from the drawing room some singing. This young man's but it's clearly like a local gentleman's club fight song sort of a thing, and it's that sort of like, oh, and here we go over the hills, and it's this sort of like
I roll my eyes and I'm just like, okay.
There's like
well,
two or three people singing along, like, come on everyone, and it's like, oh, and the grand, and like the stag and the mouse and the, and you're like, oh.
They do this one all the time. All right. Okay, I listen. I think they're doing our work for us. Let's go now, and we'll go upstairs to our room, and we can talk there. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Clutch, you first.
Meep, can you give me a quick second? Hold on. He's gonna pull out his pocket watch again and look down at the time. How close is it?
2
On the hour.
Oh, yes, I know what you're saying. Well, it is probably at this point in time about 3-ish. You probably have about every 15 minutes. So you probably have about 5 or so before the half hour.
Are we okay? I look at him looking at
but-
his watch. Yeah? Okay,
Yeah,
then
I think
go
we're
now.
Okay,
Go now.
And he's gonna run out, rush out.
I don't have an overcoat or anything. Does Kalechi?
I gave man to Zenobia. I just have a
Does
waistcoat
Nell?
right now. Yeah.
I do not know. Oh wait. Yeah, I suppose I would, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then yes.
Can we just put your... She needs to fit in. At least a little bit.
What?
Yes.
Can I? And I'm just going
I
to
take
try
it
to
off,
take her
yeah.
coat off because that's polite, right? Don't let her take it off by herself.
Yeah.
So I'll help her take her coat off, and then I'm going to put it on Buttercup. Just for a second. We're going to take you upstairs, and we'll figure this out, okay?
I think Buttercup just feels like she's just standing there, like, feeling the coat. like between her fingers for a really long time, just like frozen there.
Yeah. I look at you straight in the eye and Did you really come out of that mirror?
It's not a mirror where I came from.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that, but I've waited my whole life for something like this to happen.
I mean, same, but different.
I will help you. Okay, shit, go. Just walk up.
Is it?
Oh, can I have some more champagne?
And you see like a man probably in his like, I don't know, mid-30s, except he looks like he's lived a hard life of drinking, but he's in very expensive clothing. Like it's like he's like, it's what, 3 in the afternoon, right? And he sort of wanders out of the drawing room where all the people are, and he's like,
I love that. What is it called? The necktie that he's wearing?
Cravat.
What's that called? I love that cravat.
oh, this is
It's very, very lovely. And I'm just sort of like blocking the way for them to make their way up the stairs. I'm just going to grab a champagne. Oh, it's so nice to see you again. And then I'm going to turn around and then try to make my way up the stairs.
It's like, does anyone else here feel a little bit? And he sort of leans up against the wall and sort of slides down the wall, and then he drinks more champagne as you all make your way up the staircase to the second floor. Which one of y'all's rooms do you want to go to?
Otto. I mean, it seems that, I mean, to me, I would want to go to Otto's room. If we know where that is, which I don't know if we do.
This floor is all of the guest rooms, and you would have seen where they would have taken your bags.
Luggage. Okay.
Yeah, your luggage. And so you make your way to Otto's room.
Okay.
Does Otto's room have a mirror in it?
It does.
It looks familiar to me.
Yeah. It does. Yeah.
Is there anything in the mirror when we get there other than our reflections, just out of curiosity?
I think that automatically Buttercup goes directly up to the mirror and has her hands pressed against it again.
Could I
Is she going
have
to break this mirror as well, or?
focus and mysteries? And this is just a routine task of 2. As you're sort of in this sort of quiet space in the second floor.
So I just draw and then add my numbers.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's a 2.
My focus is 3 and my mystery is 2, so 5.
Okay, so that's
Or
a 3. That is enough. When you place your hands, so you make it by 1, when you place your hands on the mirror, it's cold. And sometimes before, you would look through pools of water, in the forest, and you could see through the pools of water into this other space, this world, and you would see your twin. And sometimes you would try to speak to your twin, but your twin could never hear you. But usually when you would touch the pool of water, because sometimes you could pull yourself through if no one was looking, you could pull yourself through and you could manifest here in this space. And when you would touch the pool, it was warm. And you could sometimes smell, like you knew that the line
It's thinner.
was thinner. Dusk and dawn usually is when it's very thin. And certain times of the year, I mean, for example, Midsummer, is a time when the veil between this space and the borderlands is particularly thin. Just randomly, just also, winter solstice, midsummer, those are times when the veil's very, very, very thin. Not that it's going to be midsummer like in 2 days, cool. But when you would touch the mirror, just randomly. But when you would touch the mirror, when you could go through, it would feel warm to the touch.
But it
and
feels
sometimes you
cold
would
now.
smell something, like you could smell the other side, maybe bread, or if
Like the dust of a room, or like...
Yeah. And you can't, and you would imagine at this point in time, you would be able to smell, where you're from, it smells so beautiful all the time. You can smell flowers always. Although, not recently. in the last 2 or 3 years, it's been smelling more and more like rot and decay, peat. It's been not great where you're from the last, let's say, 2 years about. It's been getting kind of worse.
I've been really enjoying the smells from the pond, is what I'm getting.
Yes, you have. And you don't get any of those smells. Whatever kind of thinness that had been happening seems to have calmed itself back down, and you cannot...
Do you think that if I kept that piece of the mirror that I shattered on me, that if we were to go places, would I be able, now that I've shattered it, to still feel the cool and the warmth of it?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will keep that on me, as they say.
The mirror seems important to you. You might be able to do something with it.
No,
So,
not here.
I just like shut the door, and then I'm like up against the door. My eyes are wide, and I'm like breathing heavy. My heart probably is still pounding, and I'm just like, okay, so here's what happened. And then I just freeze for a second. I don't know how else to say this, but Buttercup came through the mirror and Otto went in it, and then this green hand came out and grabbed Otto, and then Otto was gone, and it was like, I thought I was maybe seeing things. I thought it was maybe the champagne. I thought maybe the champagne was absinthe, but it turns out it wasn't absinthe. It turns out I think this was real. Kalechi, I think this was real. This was real, right? Tell me this was real.
no, yeah, this is most likely real.
Holy
I don't think you're usually good at holding even your absence. I don't think that's
Right?
Also, we're seeing
That's what I said.
So,
I am visibly upset and like in shock, and I'm gonna walk up to Buttercup and put my hands on her shoulders. Where is he?
Not here.
How did you get here?
I told you she came through the mirror.
Well, normally when I come through, nobody sees me, and they can't really hear me.
We
But
thought
then
you were dead.
Yeah.
who?
Wait, what? You know her?
She's Otto's sister.
Oh,
Grew
that
up with Otto.
explains the similarities. Is Otto dead then?
Well, no, trapped. I hope, but dead. I hope not.
How did you get there?
I was so small. They took me,
Snatched.
and pushed me, and
She's a face snatched.
what?
You're a face snatched.
That does make sense.
We have to get Otto back.
Well, yes, please.
Well, of
that would
course
be
we
the-
have to get Otto back, but we have to make sure she's okay. Right? There's usually a trade that happens.
I think
Yes,
Otto was
but
that
I don't
trade,
know what.
maybe.
Before, when I was small,
We
But
just
I
have to get
don't-
Otto back.
I keep trying to push back through the mirror, but it's cold. It's supposed
It's
to be
okay.
warm.
It's okay.
Cold.
You don't have
I,
to do
like-
anything right now.
Back up against a wall, like in a corner, and I just kind of like check out a little.
Yeah. I take note of Nell, but I don't want to. Like, things are very different in this time period, so I'm not going to make any sort of move toward her. I'm just going to watch and note that she's distressed and let her tough it out, which is kind of what they did back then, I suppose. So I'm just
And
going to.
sometimes drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I'm not gonna do that because I don't know what I think. Yeah, for the first time, Tilly is not really interested in the booze. Okay, so you've come through before.
Well, I would come through, but nobody would see me here. They
Not
would,
even Otto.
I think Otto knew I was here, but didn't know. I like that. I think it was like that.
You're hearing that?
I hear something.
Hearing what?
You're not hearing it? It's like this. It's like when you think something, and it sounds like it's your own thought, but then it's not. I didn't think that. I didn't say that. That wasn't mine. Does that make sense?
Sort of. Hi, I'm Kalechi. He's going to put a hand out to Buttercup.
Oh,
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Buttercup very tenderly and like confused puts out the hand that's not holding the mirror out to yours. And just touches it to yours, doesn't shake, just touches.
This is where you. I'm just gonna like use his other hand to like wrap yours around his, and we shake it.
Right, that seems okay.
I will note, just not to distress you at all. I mean, I would never want to do that. But you know the hand of yours that's holding the shattered mirror?
Is it bleeding, Drew?
Yeah, just a little. Just a,
Okay. Now I
I just wanted you to notice. Just you know.
Does it hurt? Or is it just like happening? Like it's like sweat.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
'cause you
shake
got
it off
cut.
my hand.
You know, you got cut by the mirror that you shattered. It's fine.
You don't sound too sure if that's being what happened, but all right.
I mean, I feel like that's what happened, right?
I think that I'm gonna take my hand and like wipe it, not on what Nell has given me, but on my spiderweb like dress in front of everyone, and then just go back to holding the mirror.
we can get you some. I should get you some clothes. We should get you some clothes. I should get you some clothes. I'm gonna just go to my room really quickly, and I'm gonna get you some clothes. And I just walk out the door. I don't even wait for anybody to be like, "That's a great idea, Tilly," or anything. I just like, and I walk
I
straight
think
out.
while Tilly
straight out the door.
continues to be a whirlwind, I'm just gonna walk towards Nell. And like it's almost like Buttercup feels close to them. You know me?
I know your brother.
But not
Yeah.
me?
Don't really remember you. We thought you were dead.
No one remembers. It seems, from what I've seen.
Well, I mean, we remembered you, that you were here one time. We never forgot you. He never forgot you. But I'm sorry for if I scared you earlier.
No. This is significantly less scary than normal, I think. But strange.
Where did you grow up?
Not here.
So, I only packed shoes. I have like 3 shoes in a suitcase because this stuff is a joke to me, and I'm so sorry, but I don't have any other clothes. Nell, do you think... Did you pack like a regular person?
I have one other outfit, yes.
I won't wipe
can go
blood
get it.
on it.
What? No,
Wipe as much blood on it as you want. I'm very good at cleaning up blood, so I will be right back, and I will go and get the other outfit. So
Thank you. I'm sorry. I just 15 suitcases and I didn't pack anything to wear.
Do I normally wear shoes, Trooper?
No, why would you?
May I borrow one of your multiple pairs of shoes?
Sure, if I can find a match.
Fine,
And
if
then
they
I'll
don't
leave again.
match.
This leaves Kalechi and Buttercup alone in the room.
I'm curious. You said you didn't grow up here.
Yes.
Where did you grow up?
But I know that they call it the Borderlands, or would we call it
Yes.
something different?
Well, you know that that's what they call it because
Because
of
I
the,
can see through.
yes.
Okay.
But this is this is the court of the fair folk.
You call it the Borderlands?
Oh. Okay. And he again whips out a notebook and just starts writing down. Could
What
you
are
tell me
writing?
everything? What else? What was it like growing up in the Borderlands?
I was a servant.
Oh.
For the king?
Okay. Does the king know you're here?
Trooper, does the king know I'm here? I would assume the king knows everything.
The king knows many things. You hope the king does not know you're here. You've been able to, like, usually when you sort of slip through is like when you're not being watched, right?
Okay.
Because you're not allowed to leave. You know? You're not allowed to leave. But sometimes you're able to, you're a little sneaky. Sometimes you can slip away and you take those like little brief moments that you have to try to reach out to your twin to sort of get out. Now you have just come through. The king may not know yet.
Does our time run the same in the worlds?
It seems like it. It seems like it, but it's not necessarily experienced the same, if that makes any sense. Like, it might be the same, but things that... It might seem just like a moment between one midsummer to the next, or it might seem like much longer. You're not certain if it is the same time or if it's just that your perception is different.
We're not like counting down calendar days like
No.
they are.
No.
I slip away to visit, but normally I don't make it all the way through. And
Interesting.
Otto doesn't normally switch with me. I've been trying to break through to here, not take Otto back.
It seems like it's some kind of exchange. I suppose equivalent exchange. Switched you out with Otto. I have never seen this happen, but I'm assuming it might be because we're getting closer to midsummer. The veil is the weakest then.
It was very easy to push, to touch. It was warm and it smelled like wine and fresh linen and people, sweat.
Oh yeah, there is a lot of people and wine. Do you want wine? Are you a drinker? Most people I meet are drinkers.
I don't think I want that.
Okay, so we're in luck.
I'm sorry.
How
I'm
do you
sorry.
feel about lace?
No. Tilly, I'm afraid
Oh, no,
you're
I
going to be
get
waylaid.
stopped.
You
Oh. Am I carrying a boot when this
do.
happens?
You are. You're carrying a boot. Nell can come back.
Okay,
But
all right then.
Nell doesn't get stopped. But Tilly, can I have you for a moment, Tilly? No, I need you for a moment.
Oh, just me. Okay.
Oh, I do.
Oh.
I need you for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have this boot, and you're on your way.
Two boots.
Two boots.
I do have two. I did have a matching pair. Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
And the entire time I'm walking down this hallway, I'm just muttering to myself about, like, I finally meet somebody from, over on the other side of the veil or whatever, and I embarrass myself because I insisted on bringing 15 suitcases just so that they had to carry them and be inconvenienced, and I didn't even bother to fill them with anything important. I just threw a couple of things in.
Mom.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you're not dressed. Dinner's coming up right soon, and you've got to be hosting everything. Come on. And this maid grabs your arm, and she just starts pulling you upstairs to the next floor.
Excuse me, like hosting.
Come on. I mean,
trust me, I don't think they want me to do that.
Lady Mejbel, you've got to go and host everyone. And she takes you off to a grand bedroom.
What?
Oh, yes, she does. There's this sort of large bedroom up on the 4th floor she takes you. This mansion has 4 floors and a larger attic. And inside there are a number of maids there, and they all start dressing you.
Oh, excuse me. I
they just
quite
take
like
those
my
boots?
pants, thank you.
Oh, it's all
And
right,
I'm,
Mom.
like, slapping their
and
hands
and they're
away.
all
No,
trying.
no,
like there's
no,
like
stop,
4 of them all
that's
trying,
great.
and there's like dresses coming up. This one, then,
no,
Mom. This
no,
one.
no,
Or
no,
how about
thank
this
you.
one? No? Would you like this
no.
one?
Let me think. No. That's great.
Mom,
I like
Mom?
I like what I'm wearing right now.
well,
Could everyone just stop talking? I have to use the washroom before we start dressing.
All right, Mom.
I walk straight out the door.
Mum, but you have your own washroom, Mum?
Yes, I forgot my wine. That's the only thing I can think at that moment. I just walk out the door.
And there are 4 of these sort of like ladies in waiting who are all in this large bedroom that is apparently yours. and they're like, oh, they wait because you are in charge, I suppose.
Did
and
they
you're going to
call
get-
me Lady Mejbel?
They did.
I'm so sorry. Does that name mean something to me?
All you
I
know
mean,
is
it
that
should, right?
that's the one who invited you.
Oh, no. Okay.
That's the new wife who's no one has seen.
Oh, I've immediately started a conspiracy theory in my head because that creep's been watching me my whole life. And I'm just like, oh, did he really get married to some woman? Is this just some sort of joke? And he wants to like rope me into some sort of something. And this is, okay, well, and I'm just like sitting there talking to myself. And then I realize I have to take my boots. And then I try to just dart down the hallway and back to my friends. Hopefully I can get out of here in time.
Back to the room. Nell comes in with an outfit first, her second outfit.
Yes. It is a bit of like a surprisingly high quality gown. So like it's an indigo blue and it's got like beading on it and it has no right to be this fancy. And she brings it in and hands
Is it
to you,
complicated?
Buttercup.
I just assume
yeah.
Victorian style clothing is incredibly
Yeah.
complicated, and I've been wearing like spider silk, so I'm just
Yes.
like looking at it in shock and awe. I like where
You're
do
going
I
to have to
put
get
my
the
foot?
corset on first, though, of course.
Yeah, so I'll
Foot?
help you. I'll help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know she was
Kelechi,
brought
could
in the
you-
border? Huh? Yes?
Kelechi, could you leave the room or go turn
Wait,
around or
Why?
I'm going to help her get dressed.
Uh-huh.
Would I be worried about Kelechi seeing me naked?
No.
No. So I'm like, Kelechi's fine.
Kelechi doesn't understand either. Like,
Oh, Kelechi
I will
can
note this
stay.
is not at all appropriate for
scandal.
Victorian. It's so
It's
scandalous.
not appropriate for any of us
It's
to
very-
be in the bedroom together, by the way.
It's true. Like, you should all not even be in this bedroom
We
together.
should be in a drawing room or something. None of I think that's what they're called. None of this bedroom
Yes.
business.
No, this is inappropriate.
Yeah.
why do I need to turn around?
For her, I don't know, modesty, Kelechi. If you could just turn around and face the wall.
I don't understand, but okay.
Thank
And it's
you.
just like,
Do what we're told.
I tend not to do that, but
It's very relatable.
I'm gonna help her get into this gown that is,
She T-poses for you.
yeah. I'm just tying straps and just tightening.
So I want you to know that there's this corset you have to wear. It's this sort of thing that is like got bone in it, and then it's like tightened.
Does it
that makes-
feel more like a prison than the Borderlands?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
it does. Yes,
good.
it does.
Ow! Why?
I promise it's terrible, but you'll get used to it. I'll leave it a little bit looser than is normal.
Okay. Fine.
I will say this: it gives you great posture. If you're really concerned about that, your posture is amazing.
I love the idea that the slicing of her hand meant nothing to her, but the corset is just
Yes.
way too uncomfortable. Okay.
All right. Well, you look a vision.
Thank you. I think she immediately stumbles over the length of the dress because she does not understand.
Oh,
Oh, ow, wrong.
well, if you could be a little
I think she
bit
hikes it
careful.
up at the very, like, she grabs it from the bottom and hikes it up above her knees and is holding it up. Like she's gonna do the can almost. Oh,
I mean, you
better,
might want to.
better. Nice. Kelechi, I think that the tradition they wanted you to turn around for is over now.
oh, okay. You look great.
At this point, you hear the bell. Not the church bell, but the dinner bell.
Okay. I think Kelechi freezes anyway. He's like, oh, okay. And just relaxes. Okay, are we going down to dinner?
I believe we should wait for Tilly.
Oh, yeah.
She's been gone
Can't-
quite a bit of time.
Should I go look for her?
Maybe. There are definitely signs of a potential breach coming up soon, so it would be nice to know that she, didn't get caught up in the imminent death.
The dinner bell rings again.
All right. Well, why don't you?
I
take
think that the
Buttercup
sound of the
to
dinner bell is like actually physically affecting Buttercup.
It's like
she,
a little triangle. Somebody's got like a triangle, like there's like a servant with a triangle sort of ringing it and sort of walking through the halls. You can hear this sort of, it's a sort of a harsh sound.
Why don't we all go into the hall and maybe Tilly, we can find her on the way. She'll be
Yes,
hearing the sound too.
Buttercup, are you okay?
Yes, fine. Yes, fine.
You sure you seem to react to that bell? Is that a thing you need to be worried about as well?
Oh, no. Unless you're gonna make me serve dinner.
I don't. That would be rude, Miss Harrington. That would be rude, correct? To do that?
Yes, you're not dressed like someone who's serving dinner.
For once, okay, that's good.
Just Buttercup, just so you know, just feel free to tell people what to do. In that dress, you'll get away with it.
Okay, I think that would make me very uncomfortable. But I will keep that in mind.
If anyone comes and starts speaking to you, you can just walk away. You have that right. In that dress.
Okay. I think
All
she
right.
gets like a little straightens up in her corset.
The dress is beautiful. It is, it has an air of power to it in its own way. There's something about the fabric, the lace, the complicatedness of it. It's, and I imagine you probably have got quite a few petticoats underneath as well, so that you've got
I have a really
nice
cool
shape.
bustle.
Oh yeah, yes.
You think
It's
the power's all stored in my big bustle?
I like big bustles, and I cannot lie. And that is where that's where all it is this like very. It just takes the dress takes up a lot of space. You know what I mean? Like it just takes up all of this space, and you have these amazing mutton chop sleeves because it is 1896, and the fashion has got great sleeves. And unlike the 1880s, these mutton chop sleeves allow you to actually move your arms. You've got full mobility in your arms, as a matter of fact. So it's a nice moment, but it feels very powerful. This dress that Nell has given you. And as you make your way out, there's this servant comes rushing up. Come on now, we've got to go. We've got dinner. Let's go. Mum.
Okay.
Yes.
And as they lead you down the stairs, you are led into this massive dining room with this huge, long table. And as you are walked into this room, Buttercup, as you're walking in with this group of two, somebody just hands you a small glass of sherry, just because you seem so important. They just hand you this glass as you're sort of moved in. And most people are already seated. Most people. There are a couple of people who are still grabbing a glass or two, but everyone's sort of coming down. I will say, there are two things to note. One, there are two heads of the table, and there are servants ushering you to your seats. On the head of one table is empty. Whoever is supposed to be there has not yet arrived. At the other end of the table is Tilly, perhaps, in the most extravagant and wealthy-looking dress you can imagine, with a necklace of diamonds that glitter. And as she stands there at the other head of the table, regal and resplendent, the door opens, and in walks a man. This man, mid-60s, tall, rail thin, wearing a tuxedo, black, with his tie, starched shirt. The shirt is stiff, with a collar that is tall, that comes up past his jawline. And he walks in and he's carrying a walking stick, long, thin, with on the head of a wolf, and the wolf has in its mouth a red ruby. Large red ruby in its mouth. And this man, with diamond cufflinks, walks in stiffly, walks right to the front of the table, and he bangs his walking stick on the marble floors, and it echoes throughout the room. And he looks around and he says, "Well, I say, welcome to the Mysteries. I am your host, the Viscount Neville Bainbridge. I introduce myself because my dear wife," he gestures to Tilly,
I think
has-
I don't pick up on it right away.
"has invited some strangers to the home this year. Well, so for those of you who do not know, this is my estate. I hope you will enjoy all of the mysteries. Buttercup, this is the man that they gave you to when they killed your parents. This is the man who took you through the breach and handed you off to the King of the Fae. This is the man who every midsummer meets with the King of the Fae and offers up a fox in tribute. This is the man who you have seen once a year gaining power from the Fae in exchange for power in return. Kalechi, this is the man who has been blackmailing you, forcing you to work on his estate for the last 2 years. Nell, this is the man that you saw once in a laboratory when you were small and scientists were cutting into your face. This man was in a corner watching and smiling as the things they said they would do were not exactly what they said. And he watched everything with a smile. This is the man who came through your neighborhood and rounded up poor children and sent them to workhouses, or what he called them, his charity. Tilly, this is the man who has been sending people to watch you since the day you were born. This is the man who was at your school, your boarding school, just visiting. This was the man who has been to your parents' estate over and over, but never looked at you, except all of his people looked at you all the time. And this is the man who raises up a glass in toast as we go to break. My friends, it is break time. It is break time.
Oh my
crime.
god.
That was rude, okay? Just ending it.
It was beautiful, let me clarify, but it was
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah.
Beautiful, but wow, that was so good.
I'm just giving you a chance to think about how you're going to respond to seeing the Viscount Neville Bainbridge.
I've been thinking
Listen,
about this
I
for
am
weeks.
not polite whatsoever. I've got no. I walked over a dead woman just 10 minutes ago.
Fainted.
Okay.
She fainted. She wasn't
She
dead.
fainted.
She could have been dead
She could have
to
been
my
dead,
knowledge,
yeah.
and that I wouldn't have changed my mind.
Yes,
Probably
but
fair.
no, I'm wearing puffed sleeves.
I know you are.
Like, so just right now.
By the way, great wardrobe
they
change. Didn't
made
see that
me
coming.
wear
Oh my god, can we
My
get a-
ass hit the
Oh my
chair the
God.
moment I heard him as I was picking up my fucking earbuds being like, and at the other end of the table, I'm like, oh god.
It's insane. Wait, you have stuff in your hair and everything.
Yes,
I'm going to
yes.
die.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I also had no idea. It was just kind of
Surprise.
like, yeah, it was good. It was very good.
Sometimes I like to surprise my cast, and then my cast
Yeah.
surprises me, and I was like, all
Yeah.
right.
He was like,
Yeah.
how about that? And I went, should I go take? Hold on, I'm going to go take.
My lovely audience, I would like you to go and drink some fluids and stretch your legs, because it's really important in the time of like being working from home to stretch your legs regularly. We're gonna be back in 10 minutes, and we're gonna find out how this dinner goes, because I feel like there's nothing more dangerous in a role-playing game than doors and dinner.
Your next show, doors.
Doors and dinner. D&D, doors and dinner. Oh my god, I want that.
Get prepared for an awkward dinner, everyone. I'm excited.
Oh,
We
I'm
will
gonna
see you in
scrape
10.
my fork as loudly as possible. Scandalous.
So scandalous.
No idea.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of episode 2 of Midsummer Mysteries. Everyone's doing well, I think. I mean, I will not speak for the players, but I feel like they're just like in a really happy space. It's like a nice dinner,
So happy.
right?
Never been happier.
Buttercup's definitely not on the floor.
There's a chair for you.
No,
How did you get down there? That corset's holding you up.
Crumbled like a broken doll. I think as soon as that.
Oh, no.
That, like, what is it called? Like,
Marionette.
No, the walking stick.
as soon as the walking stick
Oh, I
like
thought you
knocked
meant you were
against the
crumpling
marble.
like a.
I am.
Okay. You know what?
Then
It
she
makes
like
sense
crumbles
in my head.
fear. Yes, I know what you meant.
Oh,
And so, yeah, let me just ask what everyone's. Hey, by the way, have any of you ever seen Sleeping Beauty, the Disney film from back in the day?
Yes.
yes.
Right. Do you know that moment when Maleficent strikes her big staff on the ground, and it like has an amazing audio cue where like
Yep.
it just like echoes? It's that
Yep.
sound.
It
It's that
reminds
sound.
me of my second grade teacher.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She had a walking stick?
No, chalk. And it was a big thing of chalk, and she would put it on the board, and every time it would be like, shh, shh, shh. Did I just date myself by saying it was
No.
chalkboard? All right,
No,
cool.
no,
Can
no.
we
No,
move on?
Because they've been
I
using
had a-
chalk
Yes,
just last year. Like,
Oh,
just,
okay.
we're gonna pretend.
Okay, moving on.
And so, as he strikes his walking stick, which is, it's like a little walking cane, right? On the ground with this wolf's head with this massive ruby in its mouth. Let me ask, how do you all react?
Oh, I'll go first. I immediately pick up the drink, and I have it.
Kalechi makes a beeline for Tilly.
But we're at
Just
dinner.
immediately.
There's a toast happening. You don't know social cues.
He cares. He can just walk right up to Tilly, and it's like, again, like I think Tilly's used to it, but like when he's confused or curious, he like gets really close. He doesn't understand personal space. It's like, you're married?
I guess so. Are there
To
people
him?
nearby that?
Oh, yeah. Like, you're
Oh,
at the head of the table, so there's like, there are a couple people right near you, and people are like, why is this Nephilim talking to Lady Mejbel? That's weird.
Wouldn't they be like the most important people too? Because they're like
Yes.
seated
Yeah.
next to her.
Yes.
I believe you have mistaken me for someone else. Can I use magic?
Yes, you can. But first, before you do, I would like to know how Nell responds. I want to get that like immediate snapshot.
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
Contrary to how she always imagined she might respond, she is completely frozen. She can't move. There's no and within her, she's kind of like yelling at herself to do something, but she can't. She just can't move.
And Buttercup, as you are called, how do you respond at that moment?
I genuinely think Buttercup I think that of all the things Buttercup expected the world she came from to be like, this was already an overwhelming experience. And to see that person here has like truly just confused and broken her. And she is just like terrified to a childlike pose. I think it's almost like sort of like PTSD to the point where she's like, this brings her back to like a childlike state.
Just time traveling is what I call it. She's just like somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And you all four can notice these responses as Tilly. Please.
So I have an ability called Phantasm. Subtly test presence and guile to make an opponent see a simple illusion. Will this work? I mean, I don't really see Kalechi as an opponent. but I only want him to see it. But if it only
Okay,
applies
yeah.
to opponents, then maybe I will have the illusion applied to.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
fine.
So presence and guile. Okay.
Yes, please.
So my presence is 3 and my guile is 4, and my card is
What do you get? What do you get? What do you get?
a 0.
Okay. Okay. So what's your total?
8. Is that right? 7.
7, right? Yes.
Yep. 3 and 4.
Kalechi, could you draw for will and composure?
Will and composure.
Yes, please.
Ooh, it is not good. So,
And just tell me if you get a Doom card. Then we'll all see it. You know, just it's interesting.
it's not a Doom card, but
Wow.
and will and composure is
That's a 5, by the way, for those listening.
yeah,
That is a 5. Thank
so,
you.
and my will is a 2, and my composure is a 1, so I got an 8.
Ooh.
You beat me.
Yes. You are not able to get the glamour to be seen.
Okay. So
Well, could I do
I
something
know
else? Maybe
this?
the glamour is working, but like the moment you say, I think you got someone confused. He goes, "Do I?" and then pulls on his goggles, and
Yeah.
I think that's like his goggles are definitely enhanced by some kind of magic, so it kind of sees
oh,
through.
yeah, okay. So then this is the only thing I was going to do with the glamour is literally she's going,
And I think
okay.
goes back and
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
down while
And
everybody else just sees her like not
Yeah.
reacting at all.
Okay.
Or like, I believe you have
Yeah,
me confused
yeah.
with someone else.
And what that means is that you see the glamour, but you know that it's not real, right? Like as you sort of put your glasses down.
okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
So okay.
Right.
So
like-
that actually works out way better than, so I'm
Like-
basically I believe you have me confused with someone else, but you also see simultaneously go sit down.
I think Kalechi is like, okay, and just gives you the like. He doesn't hide how confused he is. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, and just goes back to the rest of the group.
Yeah, like, but you saw basically you see a double, like you see a kind of
Yeah,
double
that's
vision.
so cool. And one of them is winking. Sorry, I did the gesture, but for people listening, I'm winking and, waving him back to his seat.
Kalechi just
and
goes
then-
back to the rest and goes, I'm very confused.
Yeah.
And it looks like Nell and Buttercup are not in a good space right now. They seem to be not doing well, is how I would frame it.
So strange that you would say that. I feel like I'm doing perfectly splendid on the floor.
Buttercup, what are you doing?
I think terrified that doing what she's done visibly is going to get her in trouble. That she is like, it was the corset. It was the clothing. I'm fine.
It does seem very restrictive. I'm sorry about you have to wear that. What you were wearing earlier seemed a bit more comfortable.
Yes.
Ms. Harrington?
Yes, Kalechi.
Are you okay?
Has dinner started?
I don't think so, not yet. We probably should take a seat. I think we're garnering some attention.
Okay. Are
I
you
think
here?
our seats are this way.
sit
And
here?
he's gonna. I think he clocks on like something's wrong. He's gonna just start guiding everyone, which is odd for him because like usually he's the one getting guided through social interactions, but I guess he's in charge now. I think we have to sit over here, and he's gonna lead everyone to our seats.
And people come to sit as servants come out and they start putting plates of the first course, which I imagine at this point in time is going to be like a nice sort of light salad. It's sort of coming out, and also alcohol. With every course, there will be alcohol because people drank a lot back then. And so they sort of bring out all of this, they bring out this sort of level of food. And the Viscount is sort of standing there. He's still standing as everybody sits. He's so tall and he's sort of just taking up all this space.
Is he right next to me?
No, he's at the other end of a very long table. He can't actually see
thank
you
God.
particularly well because you're at the opposite ends of tables, of this massive table. Could I get a focus composure from all four of you?
Ooh.
If you would, please.
Good luck to Nell. Calling it right
Or focus intuition. Either one will work. It depends on if you want.
Composure, intuition.
Yeah. Intuition is to get feelings and emotions, and composure is to get like a visual. It's up to you. which one you
Kalechi's not
like.
great with emotion, so I'm going to go with intuition. I'm going to go with composure.
So what have you got there?
I've got a -3. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. What are you adding to that? Are you doing? You can do.
I'm doing focus and intuition, which would give me an 8. I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. So a 4.
4. Okay. So you have a 4. I'm going to just write this down. A 4 for your intuition. Okay. Who's next?
I just
Either focus composure for outside, focus intuition for inside.
I
Feelings.
think I'll choose focus composure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'll choose focus composure. I got a -2, and my focus is 2, and my composure is 2.
So you have a 2? Mm-hmm. Okay. Kalechi and Tilly, what have I got for y'all?
Yeah. I've got... Ooh, do you want to go?
Ooh, nice.
Nope. I put mine off the mat. Go for it.
I got a -1. My focus is a 2, and my composure is a 1. So it's a total of 2.
Okay. And Tilly, what do we have for you?
I decided to go intuition because I think that's what she's, done her whole life. So my total's 5, 2 for focus, 3 for the intuition, and I drew a 3 dazed card.
Ooh, an 8. An 8. Okay. So let's talk about what all you see. So our composure folks, you all got 2s total. Now, 2 is not the greatest. That's kind of a bit of a routine. I'm going to ask you if you want to redraw. To do so, you'd have to use a point of ether. Oh, I don't think I told you this earlier. You all can get back either a point of ether or purpose if you spent any last time. Just one. You can get one back.
Yeah, I remember to do that.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. If any of you would like to redraw that for me, you don't need to. But if you twos would like to redraw,
I think Kalechi's confused, so I'm not going to redraw. I'm going to get into that. He's very confused right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just make sure when you draw a card, you drag it to the green area so the audience can see it. Okay.
Wait, what?
Make sure that you drag your card to the green area so the
If we
audience
can
see
draw
it.
it to the playmat, if we have everyone draw, then that would actually be better. Like your actual play space, so we can
that makes
see
sense.
it for the audience.
So I got -1.
Yeah.
Because we have so many people drawing that the cards will be...
Oh, nice. Oh, you've redone our visual.
Oh, okay.
I have a
Oh,
multi
that's
one,
nice.
yes.
Oh,
Cool.
that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, voice in the sky. You're awesome.
Thank you, God.
Nell, would you like to redraw?
I think I will, yes. So I have
Spit-
to spend...
A point of ether.
Okay. Okie dokie.
And this is for your composure. Oh yeah, Tilly's cam is black right now, by the way. I'm noting. Dear Whack.
It's not me, Whack.
Perfect.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So that puts you at a 3?
Yes, that puts me at a
Okay.
3.
Let's start with Kalechi. When you see this man, the Viscount, you have known him for what? His entire life?
Yep.
Right. He's like a mid-60s, and I think you knew his father, so you've known him his entire life. You haven't seen him in 6 months, but you know him very, very well. A 2 is a partial success, but this is not too difficult for you to figure out based on your knowledge of him. He looks a little off. It's hard to sort of say, but could you know when you have done a lot of physical labor and then you're sore and a little stiff, and so your movements are a little stiff. His movements are a little stiffer than normal, and he looks a bit thinner than normal.
Interesting. Okay.
And, you know, if Lurch, our butler, looks like a quarter desiccated, he looks like 3 or 4% desiccated, just like something has just drawn a little bit of life force from him. Not a lot, but just a
He's
little.
only spent a half an hour in the bath.
Yeah, he's only spent a half hour in the bath is what it is, right? But he seems a little... It's like he's in a little bit of pain. Not a lot of pain, but a little bit of pain, as if maybe he had something in his shoe. Like there's just something off about his attitude. Nell. With that 3,
Well.
which beats the number that you need, you notice a small glint. Something very small. You almost didn't notice it, but you're the kind of person who kind of pays attention to bling. I've noticed that. I've noticed that about Nell. The ruby in the mouth of this walking stick has a chain attached to it that you can see is on the inside of the wolf's mouth. This ruby was not originally in this walking stick. It has been placed there.
All right.
And there's a small, like a chain that is, and this ruby looks real expensive, and it looks very old.
This man just made my job so much easier.
We'll see. Buttercup, you're going with your intuition, your feelings, and if I recall correctly, you have an ability, I believe. I believe you are a medium.
I believe you are correct.
What?
Yes. And as a medium, you get a little bit of extra information because you can open your senses to the supernatural world. I'm going to go and tell Tilly what she sees before I tell you what you see because I like that. Tilly, you are sort of reading his eyes to get a sense of this man. And this man, at this moment, from this distance, you can tell, believes you to be his wife. What does that mean? It's unclear.
Okay.
He seems to see you and recognize you and see that you do not feel as if he's lying, right? Like, you don't get the sense that he's doing some kind of show in that way. Although, that said, no, that doesn't seem right. He is lying about you being his wife. There is a lie there. You don't get the sense that he recognizes you as Tilly. That's not the sense that you're getting. But this show of being married to you does actually seem like a lie. He seems to be... He's being dishonest. And there's something else. It's a mix of feelings. A mix of frustration, irritation with you, the person he thinks you are. He's irritated with you. He's angry at you. In some ways, it feels like an old married couple that does not have a good relationship at all, wherein he seems to have this arrogance in which he has beaten you in some kind of a way, but he's also angry that you've beaten him in some kind of a way. And it seems as if he does not wish you to be here. It is a very sort of he doesn't want you here. He's mad at you. He's irritated at you, but yet he also has beaten you, but yet you have beaten him. It's a very sort of a complicated relationship he has with you, his wife, that does not seem like a loving, happy marriage is the best way I can put it. And he's lying about something he's putting on a show for the group. And maybe he's a little scared.
Of me?
It's unclear.
Okay. All right.
It's
He's
unclear.
nervous about something.
Also, can I just put in a little dash, like a little salt shaker of megalomania? Maybe a little bit of that?
Well, I mean, I knew that already.
I
but
mean,
yeah.
you knew that.
It's nice to have it confirmed.
Yeah, just a little. Buttercup. You're a medium. And being a medium, you get a sense of the unnatural. You have spent so long in the Borderlands that when there are creatures who are from the Borderlands, you know. If there were a fae, you would know if he were a fae. You've spent so much time around them. You have a sense of these things. And you reach out, and he is no fae. He's not. He's a normal, pure-blooded human. Except you sense when you close your eyes, you can see it. There's a golden rope, a cord that leaves his body. It's tied to his wrist. It's not physical. It is not really in this plane, but there's a golden rope, and it snakes out down along the floor, down out a hallway. You can't see where it goes, but he is in some way tethered to this place. The rope seems long. It seems he has a lot of mobility and movement, but there is an anchor somewhere. And you get the sense that he cannot go farther than the rope will allow him. And this rope is delicate. If you concentrate and you look with that draw that you had, not look with your eyes, but look with your senses. If you could imagine yourself inspecting this rope, it is made of vines, golden vines, woven intricately, one around the other, in the ways that only the most skilled fae can do. It is something that is from where you're from, not from here. And it is tethering him, which is, I will just note, weird, because you do not normally tether people from this plane to their own plane. You know what I mean? Like that's not a thing. Like, you don't normally need to do that, but somehow he has been tethered to his home. And he goes, well, I'm glad to see all of my old and dear friends. I will note, Tilly, your parents are not here. They have been invited here every year for decades, although they stopped getting invited
When I was born.
When you were born. And again and yet again, they are not here, your parents. Not invited. He goes, I'm happy to see all of my old dear friends here, and my dearest wife, we have been 6 months married, and it has been the happiest 6 months of my life. He smiles at you. Drinks. I do not know. She has promised a different midsummer this year, and I'm very excited to see how it will turn out.
I'm watching the table to see everyone's reaction to me as well, because I haven't seen his wife, so I'm actually assuming that his wife has done some glamour on the table, and even though I'm sitting here, they're seeing someone else. So I just kind of want to see. I'm assuming everybody's reacting normally, though.
They are.
They just, no one has any. Okay, and
No one is acting strangely at all.
except for maybe Kalechi. Can I see Kalechi, Nell, and Buttercup from across the table? Mm-hmm. And how do they seem?
They have been sat closer to you. There are a couple of other people at this long table, which seats about like 30. The not human types are all closer to her than they are to him. He is surrounded by a bunch of purebred humans, most of them looking very stuffy and supportive of him.
Okay.
And the servants are coming out, all of them looking a little desiccated, sort of putting down food.
Okay, I have something here. Can I use weaken purpose? I don't know if this applies or not. But if a Fey witnesses someone acting against one of their affinities, which I suspect he's doing by lying or playing games in which he thinks he's winning, I can spend a point of ether and make a subtle attack against him using presence and mysteries against a difficulty equal to the target's focus and will. If I succeed, we drain his temporary purpose.
Yep. That is his ether and purpose.
Right, so then he can't. Okay.
Yes, that is correct.
I would like to try that.
Please.
Okay.
I would like you to do so. Very much. Your difficulty is 4.
I have a question while she pulls that
Please.
card. I know that as a medium that got a 4+, not that you have to tell everyone else, but that means that I know what entity or creature the Viscount is?
He's a pure-blooded human.
Okay.
Okay.
He is
Holy shit.
a pure-blooded human who for some reason has been tethered using a Fey cord to his own home.
Okay.
Somewhere. You don't know where the end of the tether is. You'd have to follow the rope to find out.
Giving me
where
some
it
good
goes.
tiptoe through the tulip vibes.
If you there is a rope, but you're at dinner, so I don't know.
I'm going to stay seated out of fear.
So what did you roll, my friend? What did you draw?
I drew a 2, and my mysteries is 3, and my presence is 3.
That does beat his score, which is a 7. So,
Oh, by 1.
by 1, you drain. How much do you drain from him?
Let me read it again. Sorry.
1 point. 1 point.
Okay.
As you describe to me, this is very subtle. No one can see this. Now,
Okay.
by the way, for those of you who are in the audience who don't know, each character has purpose and ether. And purpose and ether are these sort of innate abilities that allow you to redraw, avoid consequences, not take wounds. They're your ability to sort of be within the universe. And everybody has a certain amount. And purpose is what allows you to not get injured, to not take consequences, and it represents your how well you fit into order, how well you fit into the clockwork. And ether is the ability to let you redraw a card or force someone else to redraw a card, and it lets you it's your personal freedom, your ability to a little bit of chaos. The Viscount, in case anybody wants to know, does not have a lot of ether, but he has a lot of purpose, and now he has one less purpose. One less purpose than he did before. And so I'd like you to describe to me how you drain his purpose as you watch him deflate a little. He's sort of making this toast, and you do something, and he loses color from his face a bit.
So it says very specifically that the best way to do it is if you are the one persuading them to violate their code. And so I think I stand up and I add to the toast, and I'm just like how wonderful he is and how so blessed I am to have met him, and how he swept me off my feet, and I lie through my teeth. I just make up whatever because I can tell that there is a lie between them anyway about their marriage. And I don't know, I tell some extravagant story about how we met. I was riding a horse and my horse ran out of control and he stopped it, and just some bullshit story that I think is absolutely absurd. But I look him in the eyes when I do it, and I think I see a little bit of defeat and a little bit of his purpose drain. And then I sit back down.
Can you draw for me presence and guile?
Oh, dear.
If you could. This is what I need from you.
So I drew a 0 card, and my presence is 3, and my guile is 4. So 7.
That's very nice. As you give this speech, you can see the muscles in his jaws tighten as he says, "Yes, that is correct. My dear Lady Mejbel and I, we met riding." And he repeats your story, and as he does, you can see the purpose drain from him. It seems to you, if you think about his affinities, you would guess that one of his affinities is about honorable conduct.
Oh, then I slide in just the smallest detail that makes him seem unhonorable, and he has to agree to it in front of everyone. Because you can't take the Tilly out of the dinner party, and man, she wants to stick it to this guy and embarrass him in front of all of his friends. So I don't know, what's something
you can
not
tell
honorable?
he doesn't like lying. You know, you can tell that he doesn't like lying. that is like a dishonorable thing for him. And being forced to tell this lie
is what drains him.
Is what drains him of his purpose.
Okay.
He is clearly proud. He clearly takes his word of honor quite seriously. If there's something that you can tell from this draining, he takes his word of honor very seriously. His honor is important.
My word is my bond type thing.
And to tell this story of how you met is clearly not how you met. And he is agreeing to this story. He goes, "Indeed, Lady Mejbel and I met. She was, as she says, traveling." But clearly he cannot, what's the word? He cannot contradict you in
I see that.
public
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
without it being a thing.
Okay.
Right? Like it's a could you roll, if you wouldn't mind, presence plus refinement.
Sure. And then if I know that he takes his word of honor incredibly seriously, then just for the sake of narrative, I think at some point she says, "He promised me the world, and I expect nothing less." Okay, what did you want me to roll?
Presence and refinement.
Okay, so presence is 3 and refinement I don't think. Oh, is also 3, so 6. Okay,
need a
let's draw a
6.
card.
Because clearly what you're doing is an intrigue attack on him.
Yeah.
To try to lower his esteem.
I rolled a 0, so 6.
That is enough. And as you sort of place him in this very awkward situation where he has to choose between breaking his honor and this sort of very delicate dance, he says, "Indeed, I promised her the world. Lady Mejbel is my love, and I will be with her forever. And I was
Till death
swept
do
off
us part.
Indeed. And as he says this, everyone believes everything you say in the crowd, but there's something about his demeanor that seems, well, a little stiff. It doesn't seem as if he loves you as dearly as he should, but you seem especially devoted to him. And when he makes that toast, he hesitates, and the room's attitude toward him shifts down one, from favorable to a little bit less. This is a...
Oh, it's my dream. Just allow me a moment to soak. Okay.
The esteem the room holds for him goes from favorable to agreeable. They still like him, but he seems not the most devoted husband after your beautiful display of care. And that puts people in the room off a little bit from him. Kalechi, what do you do as this weird toast is happening?
Again, I think Kalechi is not hiding how confused he is. He's just like looking back and forth between them, like, I didn't. Miss Hamilton, I've known Tilly for a long time. She would tell me that she was married to the Viscount, right?
I'm sort of coming out of it now, I think, a little bit. I would like to take a look at Tilly. Can I figure out that that's actually Tilly and I can see the difference between the Lady Mejbel that I met and the Tilly who's sitting at the table right now?
Focus, composure.
Okay.
I mean...
Okay. Oh, no.
What'd you get? Did you get Doom? Tell me.
No,
Oh,
I got a -4 though.
-4. What is your focus composure?
It's 2 and 2.
So it's a 0. Okay.
Do I pass?
Partial.
Okay.
Partial. So something's off about Lady Mejbel to you. You just met her. She's changed. So it's not that.
Well, I had to ask this. Is her hair short too?
It's a good question.
So maybe that's it. Maybe you can't tell if my hair is pinned up or if it's short.
You can't
Okay.
tell. And so that is just odd to you because the Lady Mejbel that you saw had long hair, but it was pinned up.
Okay.
And it's unclear to you if her hair is long and pinned up or if it's short. And there's a way in
Also,
which
the mannerisms.
the mannerisms a
telling me that
little
something's-
strange.
Oh, yeah.
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 I mean, I did only meet her once, and it was under strange circumstances, but yeah. Kalechi, I have a... Oh, yes.
But because it's a partial,
Yeah.
you doubt, you're not certain. But now you think, no, this does seem to you to be Tilly. But then
Okay.
you think, was that Tilly up in the attic? It's a little unclear to you now if they actually are separate people or if they're
Yeah.
not separate people.
Oh,
right?
wow.
That's your partial.
Okay. Well, there must be an explanation. Don't you have an explanation in your little book? A calculation, perhaps, you could put together?
Living people are not my forte. I don't understand
It's a bit
them.
uncomfortable when you say it like that. I have to be honest with you.
Oh, because other things that aren't living I can understand and predict, but everyone else just seems confusing.
Well, I have to tell you, I've met Lady Mejbel, and she looked rather like Tilly, and... Well, I'm not sure. It might not... It might have been her. Huh. You know, I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty good at figuring out people for the most part. And, boy, yeah. Interesting.
She felt very different when you met her, but now you're not certain.
Yeah. Okay.
It's you're like when you met her, you were like you never thought they were the same. They looked the same, but you didn't think they were the same. But now you're just not certain, like because it's so weird. Like you've had such a strange moment, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think it's the same situation? Because Tilly would tell me. Maybe it's the same situation with what happened with Buttercup. He just turns to Buttercup. Are there other siblings? Do you think? Do you recognize? Does she look different?
Does this Tilly give me the same feeling as the Tilly I saw previously?
Can, if you might, give me focus and intuition. After all, you are a medium, but you do need to spend a point of ether to do it.
She's gonna
will do it.
medium me? Oh
She is
God, I
gonna
want to
medium.
know. I've wanted to know about myself my whole life. Please.
Okay, so I
Please.
just click the ether and it goes away, correct? That's
Yes, it
all I do
does.
with
That is correct.
Okay, so
but you
it's
need to
focus
spend
and
that ether to do it.
intuition.
Yes, please.
Right,
As
so
you-
I just...
Open your senses.
In character, of course. Or both.
That is
did you
a 7.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. So, I believe, Tilly, I need something from you. Could you tell me, if you might, I would like to know what is your... Oh, actually, I don't think I need you to roll. I think you're fine.
Are you asking for my mother's name?
No, because I know your mother's name. Tilly. I know your mother's name. You don't, but I do. Anyway, but I'm not going to say that right now, but I will say this to my dearest Buttercup. You reach out your senses in this moment. And there are a few things you notice. 1. Yes, this is the same Tilly. The same one. You do not know why she's being spoken to this way. It is the same one. Yes, but wait. She's changeling. All right, so one of her ancestors is Fae. Anyone could probably tell you that by looking at her ears and all of that. Yes? Mm-hmm. That's not, anyone could tell you that. So there's probably nothing to learn here. Is that, wait. No, there's something. I think it's a smell. A perfume. Do you remember when I told you that years ago, maybe 16, 17, 18 years ago, when you first arrived at the court, that she reminded you of someone? Do you remember when I mentioned that?
Yes.
You can't put your finger on it exactly, but it's the same smell. Someone at the court, when you first arrived and you didn't know anyone or anything that was happening to you because you were 7, wore this same perfume that she is wearing. It's probably not a real perfume, but it's this smell. And as you sniff it, it's faint. It's fainter than the one that you remember. But it is like jasmine. It is rich. It is beautiful. It is... And you think back, and you don't remember smelling that smell ever in the court again after the time you first got there. There was a smell. It was important. It was connected to somebody important. Reminds you of her maybe, and you do not remember that smell ever being smelled in the court for the rest of the 20 years that you were there. But
And you would say it was immediately when I arrived.
yeah, it was. The court was a mess at the time. There was so much happening. Do you know what I mean? Like there was so much, and then but somebody there had that smell, and then there was some sort of fight or strife, something like this. And since that strife that happened in the court, you don't recall that smell again. But you have your senses out, right? You smell that smell somewhere else in this room. She's not the only one who has this smell. This perfume, this jasmine, this spiced smell.
Would you say it's coming from opposite ends of the table?
Yes, but you drew very well. It's not coming from him. It's coming from the rope, the chain. The chain smells of the same jasmine that Tilly smells of, but it's stronger on the chain than it is on her. The tether.
Nobody else sees the tether, right?
Nobody else sees
It's
the tether.
just me? Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. Okay, fine. Normal. Okay.
And what do you do, dear Buttercup?
Is there a way I could almost like roll to see how scared of the Viscount I am? Because I don't know if my desire to sniff Tilly is stronger than my desire to look normal in front of the Viscount.
Well, you are way more ether than you are purpose. That sounds to me like you're a person who does not mind a little bit of chaos.
All right, then I'm gonna as much as I can, like maybe like pick up like whatever drink they've put down and try to look like I'm like sauntering over to make small talk and stand near Tilly to take big whiffs. Almost like a dog, but like I'm like pretending to act like everyone else. Have you ever seen like a toddler try to act like a grown-up?
Yep.
I feel like that's like Buttercup's like
And nobody's walking. Everybody's sitting down to dinner, and Buttercup gets up and walks towards.
Where's she going? Okay.
Can I try to use a glamour to try to make it look like this is normal?
Oh,
Like
yes.
to make people seem like this is something that I should be doing and not something
Sure.
strange.
I mean, it's pretty strange, but that would be your phantasm, I believe. Yes.
Can I help her?
Yes.
Because
Please.
I imagine I see her coming towards me and I'm like, oh, thank God. And then I realize she doesn't know what she's doing and everybody else is going to be thinking this is weird.
Yep.
So I would like to assist if I can do that.
Presence guile.
Me or
Okay.
her?
You, my dearest Tilly.
Okay.
Okay.
Presence guile first,
Okay.
to sort of give her a cover. Oh. Okay. All right. All right.
So
all right.
I drew a -1 and let me just pull up my sheet. Presence and guile is pretty good. 4 is guile and presence is 3. I know these. I don't need to look.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, that's a 6. Okay. All right. Dearest Buttercup, as you just get up in the middle of dinner, beginning of dinner, and start wandering over to the lady of the house, Lady Mejbel, Bainbridge from Sweden. That is what people have said.
Of course. And definitely not from the borderland.
Definitely not from the borderlands. Definitely from Sweden. Definitely from Sweden.
Smells
Yeah,
like lingonberry to me.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Lingonberry. Yeah. Could you draw for me? I would like your. What is it? What is your phantasm? Your phantasm, I believe, is presence, probably.
Minus blessing, glamour, subtly test, presence, guile.
Presence guile. Please do.
Okay, yes. I am drawing and not nervous at all.
And you may draw 2 cards and take the best.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank God, because that was a -3. This is a -2. My presence is 2, and my guile is 3, making that a 5. So I got a 3.
Perfect. That is what you needed. That is fine. That is a good, demanding task. But I need to know how, Tilly, you cover for this to make this seem normal. And I would like to know, Buttercup, what is the phantasm that you create? What image or sound or smell? What kind of sensory illusion do you create to make this seem not so strange?
I was thinking maybe I could direct attention to somebody else on the table. Like maybe all of a sudden somebody has either
Knock
spilled
something over,
or knocked their wine onto their like ivory gown, and now everybody's very concerned and not noticing, or they think I'm getting up to help.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes.
good.
Absolutely. And so you've got this little cluster of you all next to each other. Kalechi, Nell, Buttercup. You're all there near our Lady Mejbel. And there is like do you remember Vivienne, who is a good friends with Tilly? And by that I mean not good friends at all. There's a little bit of mean girling at a boarding school happened, and also PB gave me this name, mentioned her last time, so I'm just going with it. She's sitting there in this ivory gown, and she's drinking her glass of wine, red wine, of course, and...
Oh, thank you for this gift you're about to give me.
And then the wine spills all over her ivory dress. She was certain that she did not drink poorly, but nonetheless... there it is. And she goes, and people start looking at Vivienne, and they titter.
What a titter.
How do you cover, Tilly?
I think, can I see her glamour? Okay, so as soon as she does that, then I basically just... I maybe make it a little bit more elaborate. Maybe she looks pale, like she's going to pass out from embarrassment. So now everybody's fawning over her. And I actually just kind of create this illusion that the lady of the house gets up to maybe go and assist because that's the right thing to do. And also, so does Miss Buttercup. And I think they see a version, and that allows the two of us to step aside, and their eyes just sort of drift away from us in the corner because this is far more important.
Yes. And so it seems, can I get focus composure from Nell and Kalechi?
Focus. Okay.
And also, Kalechi, if you ever want to send your little friends out, you should just let me know. Just them about.
What does that mean?
I'm just saying that if ever...
I know you mean.
Gremlins.
Could you imagine?
What do you want to
I
do?
got a 4.
Which is total?
Sorry, I got 4, 8. 8 total.
Oof. Okay.
What were the stats you wanted again?
Focus composure for seeing through some illusions.
Composure. Oh, okay. Watch when it's a doom card, know my luck.
That would be amazing. I mean, I would not be sad.
Oh, thank God it's not. Okay. I got a 2. And with my focus and composure, I believe it's a 5. Focus, composure, yeah.
You two see Lady Mejbel and Buttercup helping this woman who's got wine all over her brilliant ivory gown, and she seems pale and she's sweating. It's ruined. And she's freaking out. But as you watch Lady Mejbel, pardon me, and Buttercup helping this woman, you see through them. And you see that there is no wine on this woman's dress. You see the wine and then you see it not there. And in the corner, you see Tilly and Buttercup move to the corner of this room. Do you leave the room or do you not? You two. Tilly and Buttercup.
If we can leave the room, hell yeah. Oh, I don't know. How long does the illusion
Tilly's
last? Yeah.
Lasts like for your scene.
Oh, wow. Okay. Then
it'll be weird sooner or later, right? But because people will be like,
yeah. I'm just wondering if it'll last for a while. Where
nearby that we
you could just go out into the hallway.
Yeah, we'll go out into the hallway. That sounds good. Okay.
And you see them leave while images of them that you can sort of see through lightly, stay and fuss over this woman, Vivienne. But you see them leave.
Kalachi,
Yes.
do you see what I see?
Yes. And do you understand why people confuse me now?
Yes, actually. Yes. All right. I'll give you that. Do you want to follow?
Go?
Should
I'm curious, I'll be honest. I want to know what's happening.
Well, if they went through all the trouble to create such a elaborate vision, perhaps it would only make it worse if we were to leave?
Good point. Okay, I'll stay. Hold
stay.
on. Actually, I have an idea. I don't know if Tilly's seen this one. Hold on. And he's gonna run through his pockets and then pull out.
And what do you do?
He's gonna pull out two. They're two they're about two balls about the size of maybe size of half of his fist, each of them, and he shakes one and then shakes the other, and then nods and puts the other one in his pocket. This is the one, and he sets it down on the table. Hopefully everyone's still distracted by what's going on.
There's a huge distraction going on. No one is paying attention to you at all because one of our dear socialites has ruined her dress and is kind of freaking out. And I will note that this is not glamour. This is real. She's freaking out, right? Like this is a very expensive dress. And she looks terrible, and she's freaking out, and she's like, and she's like fanning herself, and she is also really enjoying everybody paying attention to her. She doesn't really like the fact that her dress is ruined, but everyone's paying attention to her right now, and she's
We've all been there.
She's trying to frame herself to look deliciously beautiful, but also like so tragic. There's just a little bit of that as she is making quite the scene. And also Lady Mejbel is paying attention to her, and Lady Mejbel is like the lady of the house, and so that's like some nice props for her. So she's feeling very sad. But she's causing quite a scene and people are not paying attention.
Okay, so it's like a bronze brass board with like a little button on top, and he kind of like sits on the table and presses down on it, and then the board like unfurls, like almost like an armadillo unfurling, and it's a little brass beetle with like reddish eyes, red jewel glass eyes, and they kind of flicker on, and you can hear a whirring going on the inside, and you can probably assume that it's actually powered by electricity, which is rather rare. And very weird at this small scale. This is Huygen, and I don't think Tilly has seen it, but we can listen in and also speak to Tilly through this. Just give me a sec.
Could you please draw reason plus artisan or reason plus engineering?
Ooh, okay.
Because let's find out how dangerous.
Yeah. You said reason and
either artisan or engineering.
They're both the same. I'll go with engineering. I think artisan is if he's when he's trying to show this off, but I think this is more practical for him.
Yeah, you have it's a difficulty 3 and you have minus 3 to this because it is a very
that doesn't
dangerous.
matter because I drew a 5. Plus my reason and engineering is another 6, that's 11. Minus 3 is a 8.
You're basically inside her brain is what I'm hearing.
No, actually, I will say this, his contraptions, like he's mentioned, are very dangerous. He has died, but come back, but he's died many times.
They sometimes explode.
Yeah. So this
I'm
was
so
just
sorry,
a
we're just
testament.
gonna glaze over that one.
Yeah, I mean, it just lasts for 3 days and he's back bright good as new, so it's fine. I guess that's a Nephilim thing, so actually I understand why others might be worried. But yeah, this will help us. Hold on. And he's going to again pull out...
That is a plus 5 you drew. It was very nice.
And he pulls out another like little... This looks much more cobbled together, but it's like a remote control, basically. A little remote control, and he sends it off. Little leg sprout out of Huygen, and he crawls down the side of the table and scurries off after.
And there's like the little sound of steam and clockwork engines going on this little brass beetle as it like skitters out to follow Tilly and Buttercup.
Do you see me?
Yeah, I see you, but also... Yeah, I smell you. I see you smell.
I had no control. You have to believe me. They had like 4 different dresses to pick from, and they all had puffy
you smell
sleeves.
like your body smells. Like, it smells like a... Have you ever been to the borderland?
What? No.
Are you sure?
I just want to note that the chain, the tether, is out here and snaking down the hallway. The tether that smells of jasmine.
Oh, I'm following it as I pull Tilly along. Then I'm just gonna keep going towards it.
Okay. Borderland. Is that the Vale?
The court of the Fae?
I've only heard of it. I've never been.
I was traded, maybe when I was very small.
Well, yes, with Otto, right?
No, Otto wasn't there. They traded me for something. I don't know what.
And the little beetle follows you as you're walking down this hallway, down to a door.
Kletchy, is that you? I recognize this beautiful work, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can hear him.
What is happening? I just crouched down in this big puffy dress. What is going on?
This tether
I'm
and
confused.
you.
What tether?
Smell.
What?
There's a tether connected to the Viscount, and it is a... Well, it's here in front of you. Can't see it?
No, I can't, but I believe you. Should we follow
When
it?
you get to the door, Kalechi, you know this door. This is the door that leads to the ballroom, to the tunnel that leads to the ballroom. But...
Interesting.
Buttercup, the tether that snakes into the ballroom, you see a second tether also snaking into the ballroom, and this tether goes out and up the stairs. There seem to be 2 tethers leading to this door.
And I know the one we're following connects to the Viscount, correct? Mm-hmm. I want to follow the one that does not connect to the Viscount.
Do you want to go through the door where the tethers go down, or do you want to go up the stairs?
I want to find the other end, not the one we've been following, but the one that may connect maybe perhaps to another person or creature.
Tilly,
Yes.
Buttercup takes you to this
to
door.
this door. Yeah, okay.
And then she starts going away from the door to the grand staircase.
So there was a tether. Now there's 2. I think there's 2 people tethered to the Fae world, and I think that one of them is at the other end of this tether. Up this staircase.
What? And then
I think this may be dangerous, Tilly.
Kalechi,
I think my
what do you do
eyes-
with your beetle? Does the beetle
I'll
follow?
pick it up. Oh, I'll pick it up. If I know it's Kalechi for sure, I'll pick it up and
got a
hold
new
it in my hand.
Tamagotchi coming.
Yeah, like basically, essentially, can you see everything? And I'm just so
Yes.
excited about everything. I think
Yes,
when you
we
say
can
this is going to
see.
be dangerous, my eyes like glisten. I'm so excited.
I'm like terrified, and you're like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Well, I mean,
Don't
I'm
move it too
also
much. I'm
terrified.
still working on the frame rate of this camera, but don't want to. We might
Yeah.
miss some details if you move too fast. But yes,
Can you
we can
hear us?
Oh, yes. Nell,
Miss Hamilton,
Hello?
the
maybe you
speaker's
should
fine.
leave the
Miss
dinner
Hamilton,
party. I mean, there's a
it might-
distraction going on, but it won't be going on for very long. Maybe you should get out now.
Shall we leave?
I mean,
Where are
I
you?
don't see why not.
The stairs?
Just yeah, the stairs. Can you see it? Can you see it? And it's in a little monitor here, and you can see where they're looking at right now.
Yes.
All right, I'm coming. Kalechi, get up, get up.
Okay.
Can you maybe follow down here? Maybe should I put the beetle down?
Yeah, put the beetle down.
Oh, okay,
you can move
okay.
it.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So, what do you want to do?
Buttercup does not stall. Like I know that you're trying to get other people
Yeah.
to come, but I'm like
Yeah.
a toddler following like a cookie smell.
Okay.
The moment
I
think
linger at the door.
the
Does it
beetle doesn't
open?
even wait. The beetle jumps out of Tilly's hand to scurry after
Oh,
Buttercup.
okay. Okay. I hesitate for just a second. Where does the door open? I do try the door. I can't help myself.
You try the door?
Yeah.
The door does open. Well, it's locked. You would need to get a key. Or somebody who can pick locks.
I'm
Okay.
coming.
I try the door. It doesn't work, and it doesn't open. It's locked, and so then I immediately go after Buttercup. It was just so pretty and something about it. So I stopped for a second and I hesitated, but I can't lose her because I don't see this tether. So I immediately, Buttercup, wait! And then I go back up and I follow Buttercup.
I would like all of our cameras back on at this moment.
Oh, no.
Kalechi and Nell make your way down this hallway, and you're at this moment where the door is to your right, this door that is locked. There's a staircase going up. The beetle is following up that way, as is Buttercup. And Tilly is either going up or not.
Oh, I'm going to follow her, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Nell
following
and
behind,
Kalechi,
maybe.
What do you do?
So Kalechi looking down at his little control of a really tiny monitor where he's seeing through the eyes of the beetle. So I think they went up.
Should we go up?
Yeah, that's probably best. Oh, that's the door to the ballroom I built.
That's the door that you... Well, we can go there later, right?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I just haven't...
Another time, perhaps, once everyone's, not running around and creating illusions and everything.
How long does that illusion last? Do we know? Are we good?
I don't know. It might be done by now, but I'm not sure anyone's paying attention to us, really.
Yeah, I know, that's fair. Okay. Up we go again, I guess.
Yes. Let's go find them.
I will need, as Buttercup, you follow the tether. Tilly, you're following Buttercup. You're keeping her in your vision.
Yeah.
Kalechi and Nell, you're walking. And as you are going, something's wrong. Kalechi and Nell, something is wrong. The view you get from your beetle is not the view that you get as you're walking. There seems to be something strange about the hallways and the staircases. It becomes difficult to make your way to where they are, and Nell, you remember how strange it was. The little girl, she kept doing strange things like coming to a place and turning around 3 times, it was all back and forth. To get to the attic was difficult.
Buttercup?
And Buttercup and Tilly, you move your way towards following this tether. This smells of jasmine, stronger and stronger. Only you can smell it though, Buttercup. And you follow until you get to a space, and there's a trap door on the ceiling with a cord. And Buttercup, the tether goes up there.
I have to... Could you boost me?
Yeah, of course. And I'll try to help her up. I'm fascinated with this for some reason.
And you can pull this cord down, and the little beetle is following, and you can, Nell and Kalechi, you can see what is happening, even though as you try to make your way there yourself, with no one to follow, you keep getting, it's like you're in a circle. And this door comes down, and these stairs come out, and there's darkness up there with maybe a little light. Buttercup, you smell it.
Take her hand. Do you want me to go first?
No, I think I should go.
And I squeeze her hand, actually, and because I'm coming with her. Okay, let's go.
Only one person at a time can walk up this narrow stairway.
Can I hold her hand and walk behind her?
It's pretty narrow.
Okay. So maybe we try that, and then I realize, and then I let go, and I look over my shoulder for a second, almost as if I know Nell and Kalechi are there, but I don't see them. And then I look back.
See the beetle. Kalechi's
Okay.
beetle.
And then I try to follow after her.
Buttercup. As you're walking up this sort of narrow, it's kind of like a ladder. It's like halfway between a ladder and stairs, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. As you're walking up, the closer you get, the more you smell conflicting smells. There's the jasmine that is getting overwhelmingly strong as you walk up this stair ladder. Wherever you're going is this intense smell that you remember from 20 years ago, but it's strong. It's very, very strong. But then you're also smelling peat and rot. That smell of your new home, that home that you've had. And as you're walking up, Buttercup, you can see the opening like to the attic space. It's like a portal, you know? And as you walk and you're about to crest this sort of dark space, a green hand swoops out, grabs you, and pulls you through the portal. Tilly, you see this green hand, long fingers, 6-8 inches, with 4 knuckles, reach down from the blackness of this space, grab Buttercup, and rip her through and up and out. But as she passes that portal, you see the glimpse of trees and a sky. And I need from you grace and athletics. If you would.
Oh, I am so screwed. I rolled a -5. Just give me 1 second. Grace is 1.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, what was the other one?
Athletics.
0.
I see.
I mean, you can read your.
Oh, yes. Can I do that? I will do that. I will
Spend a point of
100%.
ether.
Now, actually, I have an ability that lets me not spend the point, but still do the same thing.
Yes.
Can I do that?
Please do. Yes, you may.
Oh, thank you, Kalechi. Always has my back.
That was Kalechi in speaking off his beats. Were like,
Yep.
dodge.
Yep. I believe that second chance is yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that's a 2. As you see your new friend ripped away into a place that you think is not the attic,
No!
a body comes falling through the same space.
Otto?
And Otto hits you, and you go tumbling down this little staircase. And as you both tumble and fall on the ground, Otto is there. Nell. Kalechi. You are on a floor, one of the floors. It's strange because you have walked up 6 stairwells. There are not that many floors to this building. You've walked up far more floors than there are floors. And you keep making these turns, trying to follow through, and you can't find your way there. And you see Otto come tumbling and hit Tilly, and Tilly collapse onto the floor, them in a heap. Your little bug sees it. And then you hear, behind you, Whoa. What have we got here? Snoopers, have we? And behind you are 3 burly men. They are dressed in suits, as if they're the help, but they do not have the build of the help at all. They have the build of people who are meant to keep order. And they crack their knuckles, and they say, "No one's supposed to be on this floor. It's completely off limits." And that's where we're going to call it for today.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? It seems a little rude that the wedding gift you're giving me, Trooper, is this
Abduction.
ending. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like, look, you've been missing a little bit too long. Somebody noticed you were missing and they wanted you back.
I'm pretty likable, so I understand.
Yeah. And, you know, you're not supposed to just...
She has over 100,000 followers on TikTok, okay?
Yeah.
Almost 200K.
That's why the Fae wanted me back. They
Yeah,
love
the
my
Fae are like,
talkie.
You're like, oh, no, we need those.
You're amazing on TikTok. You got to come back to the Fae Court. Come on now. And so we're going to leave it with Buttercup, our medium, ripped out of this space and into another. As you are following a tether, Otto collapsing onto Tilly, who's this close to the attic. This close to the attic and what might be in there. And our dear Kalechi and Nell, who, not having them in your sight, were trying to follow, but they didn't have the thread. It is very difficult to get to this attic if you have not been led there. And guardians. Guardians asking... Guardians who are a little, how should we say... aggro? A little aggressive? Standing beside you.
Oh, that should be fine for me. Thank you.
I'm not much. I'm an inventor, not a fighter. So,
Well,
I'll take
we
care of
shall
you, love.
see. Ooh! There might be a little bit of a excitement. I will note, Midsummer's coming up. The very, very important necklace that you have been asked by Lady Mejbel to get might. Perhaps Nell knows where it is. The question is how to attain it. How to get it. That's my question. Let us go around. I feel like we have some important things happening. Kalechi's in two places at once. There's some thugs. There's... a rip in the veil. There is Vivienne, who had her dress ruined. Actually, she didn't, but she doesn't know that. Who, you know...
I can't wait till she realizes it didn't actually happen and faints. I mean, I can wait for that. That's a terrible thing to wish upon someone.
My friends, here's some questions. Who is Lady Mejbel? Why does she smell of jasmine? Mm-hmm. Why has Buttercup smelled that smell before? Why
Also,
does she have a tether?
Is it 20 years or 20 and something years? Because...
20 years.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, it is correct. You are the same age as both Otto and Buttercup. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All three of you are changelings, right? Weird. Anyway, so, it's weird. I don't know. I just want everybody to introduce themselves in our outro. Look, it's not my fault. You're all like, yeah, we're 27. I was like, great. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for all the gifts.
these young'uns.
Uh-huh. Also, Nell, you still have that book. The gift.
Yeah,
to
that's
give
an
our Tilly.
ability of mine that I can't use until I have it.
Yep. It's just gotta give you that book. Could each of you say
I will
who
get
you
it
are?
to you as soon as I can.
She's holding it. By the way, it's made in some kind of strange leather. It's bound in some kind of strange leather. Who knows what animal that is? Cool.
If
Anyway,
it's even an animal.
who knows?
It's dolphin.
Not a dolphin.
I hear dolphins are kind of mean, so.
Yeah, they're kind of mean.
Yeah,
each one of you.
No, they do things.
Yeah, they're pretty awful.
They commit some crimes.
Yeah, they commit crimes. They're like, yeah, they save people and commit crimes. So they also sexually
Just
harass
like
people.
humans.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they
humans
do.
are awful.
Yeah. So, could I
I was
get
talking
each one
about
of you?
land dolphin, aka humans.
Yeah.
Poor
who are very
Troop
tasty.
is like, please introduce
Look.
yourselves, and we're like, Dolphin Killer.
Look, I want you to say who you are, where we can find you next. Give some love to somebody else on the cast, and then say what you're interested, what your burning question is. And I'm going to write down your burning question. Let us start with my favorite novelist, who might also be a tad dangerous. Merkles.
Hello. I'm Mergles. I played Nell for y'all today. Super fun. What else was I supposed to do? Give love
Where
to
can we
someone,
find you
right?
next?
Oh, yeah. You can find me on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm animating a film from scratch. I'm making an animated film from scratch. That's my day job, and I do that on my channel. So if you're interested in the animation industry and stuff, you can come check me out.
And
Love
give
for
some love to
on the
someone.
cast.
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay.
Buttercup, buttercup, buttercup.
Buttercup. I would love to give love to Buttercup. Lexi killed it.
Can we keep her?
Oh my god.
Yeah, please.
When you get a pet Fae.
What do you get
We found her. She's ours now.
Yeah, if you want her back, you're going to have to take that up with the person who currently has her.
Oh.
So y'all
sure I
gotta
can
do some
manage
heavy
that.
lifting next episode.
It's true. True.
I'm just saying that there's getting her back is not going to be easy because, as Kalechi said, there is exchange. Kalechi called
Everything comes at a cost.
it back at the beginning of the episode. There's always
That
an
fainted
exchange.
woman that I stepped over, I'm sure we could just toss her.
Yeah, we can just trade her right in. Yep.
Can I
She
know that because
also
I
had
could
a
be
problem with
training.
Kalechi.
You
so-
did say that thread seemed very delicate. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
maybe someone cuts it with something that can cut that. You know, I don't know.
And
Just
what
a
is your
thought.
burning question, Mergs?
I'm sorry, what?
Your burning question
For what's happening currently?
for next episode.
For next episode,
What do you wanna
my
know?
burning. Oh boy. Oh, good question. I would love to know how I can get my hands on that damned ruby.
Mm.
It's not really. I mean, it's kind of a burning question, but
Speaking of burning questions, the person who might have answers for those questions would be Kalechi. Draconics, tell us who you are, where we can find you next, give some love to somebody in the cast, and then tell us Kalechi's burning question.
So I'm Draconics, or Drac for short, and I was playing Kalechi Abara today. You can find me on Twitter. I think it's up here at Draconics. It's DRAKONIQUES. I stream all over the place. I don't really have like my own channel I stream on. Every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, you can find me on the D&D channel in the Kind of Keep Mysteries campaign, where I play an equivalent of Shaggy, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, but also Barbarian. It's great. On Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, you can find me over at Rule of Law, where I'm playing in a Cyber System campaign called Infinite Horizon, where I play a time traveler lizard alien. On Saturdays, you can find me here at 2 p.m. Eastern, playing Kalechi. Every second Sunday, I believe it is now, you can hear my voice in an actual play podcast called Super Idols RPG, which is kind of like Sailor Moon plus Pop Idols mixed together. It's a ton of fun.
What's
yeah,
it
it's
called?
great. We have Super Idols RPG.
Okay.
It's great. We have transformation sequence and everything. It's awesome.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I am going to be in a few hours, I think. Just follow me on Twitter. I'll probably tweet about it. But in a few hours, I'm going to be over on Hyper RPG. I'm going to be helping out with the USC Games Expo. I'm going to be playing a game
nice.
called Funky Biz with Zach and Malika Eubanks. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
What was the other thing? My burning... Oh, give some love. Buttercup.
Love.
I absolutely love Buttercup. And honestly, it's a ton of fun having someone else who is also clueless about all the social cues to bounce off of. So it's like, yeah, I don't understand. Why do I need to turn around? I don't know why I need to turn around, but I guess it's the thing that I love that. And my burning question.
I take it.
Why does there seem to be two Tillies? Like, obviously, Kalechi doesn't know that.
Nope,
But like,
yep.
above game, why does Lady Mejbel look so much like Tilly? I need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great question. It's a great question. speaking of two Tillys, the person playing Tilly would be Pumpkinberry. PB.
That's me.
Who are you? Where can we find you next? Give some love to somebody in the cast. And then tell me what Tilly's burning question is.
Hi, I'm Pumpkinberry, or PB. You can find me next, actually, Monday on my channel. I'm playing through Bloodborne, which is fun, and also Victorian horror, which is nice, because this is Edwardian horror, but it's close. Very exciting. And, as for love, obviously, I'm doing the same thing. Buttercup, holy cow. Luxie, I want to keep you.
You have to talk to her. You have to talk to a person.
We have to save you, okay? And also just, I think it's, I was wondering, I realized midway through that, because my GM brain kicked in, that you were going up the stairs because you're the guest on the show, and that was your way. And like, I should have maybe stayed down at the ballroom.
No. I'm glad you're there.
Missing, but
no, I'm glad that you saw her go.
Yeah, and also I think Tilly. This is something Tilly's wanted her whole life. Like, she's the weirdo in the area, right? She's the changeling. Everyone's treated her poorly, and then here comes this, this woman from another world where Tilly is always kind of wanted to belong and wanted to know what it's like, and it's just that immediate kinship and connection, and the fact that like when she came up and was like, do you see me? And she was like, yes, I see you. And it was like, that meant a lot to Tilly. So I think just she didn't want anything to happen to her, and also if she goes, then she has no idea about where she's from or anything like that, so she just kind of like watched that chance go right up the attic. So,
there may be a chance to see her again, depending, because, Midsummer's coming. And on Midsummer, the veil is very thin.
That's when the veil is the thinnest.
Burning question?
And as for my burning question, my burning question is who was traded and when and why. That's a three-parter, but when she was traded, and I want to know if she was traded with me, and that makes me feel horrifically guilty. That's my honest answer.
It's interesting. You have to ask yourself, what are your early memories? What are your memories from 1 through 7?
Yeah, that's terrifying. And also, how horrible would that be, Tilly wondering kind of what that world is like, and this whole time her swap is like, I just want to go home. Oh, that's awful.
Speaking of somebody who's been taken away, hey, Luxie Games, who are you? Where can we find you next? Give some love to somebody on the cast. And what is your burning question? And then would you like me to tell you something?
Oh my god. Always. I'm Luxie Games. If you have been around Table Story or around the block, you might have seen me on Witchcraft and Wizardry or on A State of Affairs with a lot of these lovely people. And the next time you can find me on Monday, I'm currently doing a watch through of Invincible, which is so amazing with JP and Jericho.
Good.
I'm only a few episodes in. I had no idea. I walked into it blind. It's so fun. So we do that at 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time through the Amazon Watch Party if you're interested in that. And then on Tuesday, I'll be back for Witchcraft and Wizardry. And then my schedule this week's a little bit messy because I'm getting married on Friday, which is very exciting. And okay, I think my love goes to Tilly, because in my mind, like, Tilly and Buttercup's relationship is Fifth Element. Lilu and Bruce Willis, clueless baby and like interested like caretaker. I really like it. And yeah, I think my burning question is exactly the same. Like, was I traded for Tilly? And is that why she smells so delicious to me? And so I want to know something.
Would you like to know something? I'll tell you something. I mean, so nobody listen. Chat, don't listen. You don't want to hear this. Cass, you don't want to hear it. Hey, speaking of smells, you know that Buttercup does have a smell, right?
Is it stinky?
Is it Buttercups?
Jasmine?
No, it's not jasmine at all. It's a different smell.
Is it death?
No, it's a smell.
Okay.
So I had to go in the opposite direction of everyone else.
No, it's smelling pine. It's like
Is it death and
Cake and
decay?
vanilla and cinnamon?
No, it's a
Is it
smell of
rotten mold.
pine. it's pine, and
Like
it smells-
1,000-year-old pine?
It does smell sort of like that. And that moment when you and Otto swapped, you could smell it on him as well. And you smelled it on someone else.
Oh my god. Please, Trooper.
Do you want to know who it was?
Yes!
I don't know if I should tell you.
Yes? No?
You'll have to do it next week.
No whack. No whack.
How
no.
dare you? How dare you?
I love that.
This is not
How
your
dare
ship.
you? Yep.
The King of the Fae smells of fur. Anyway, that's interesting. This is episode 2 of 6 of our novella. And,
You mean 60? You mean 600?
I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that Buttercup and Otto have the same smell as the King of the Fae. And of course, Buttercup knows that because the Buttercup has met the King of the Fae before.
Is your dad Buttercup?
So weird. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I don't know. All I know is that they've got to get that necklace. The tethers seem to lead straight into the ballroom. And Midsummer's coming up really soon, where they're supposed to travel deep into the 1,000-year wood on their bicycles for a lovely party.
I can't wait for that. I mean, yes, I can, because death and horrible rituals might be happening, but also steam bikes.
Yeah. Why is the Viscount tethered? Why is whatever is in the attic also tethered?
Yeah.
Why is Kalechi why is Kalechi the eyes? I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out all these things. And will Nell be able to get that ruby from the Viscount? Oh, yeah?
she will.
Okay. Well, oh, cool.
Yeah, don't
Because
worry
it's
about
on
it.
him.
Okay.
Like he's holding it. He's
it's
carrying
easy.
it. Oh, okay. Well then. All right. I
We'll
believe
do
you.
the whole Indiana Jones switcheroo
Yeah, while he's sleeping.
with...
A bag of sand.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the room that you were taken to where you were... Or someone's soul. Whack, why are you talking about souls right now? That's weird. I mean, would there be anything about souls going on in this game right now? That's weird. No. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry. I mean, maybe I'd-
souls.
I feel
are
comforble
literally
now,
just
so
a
thank you for
fantasy.
saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh my god, Mert.
And I'm Trooper SJP, otherwise known as your Gossip Meister. Yes, I'm here to just share some gossip, that's all. Just your GM. And you can find me, what is today? Oh, you can find me in a half hour at 6 p.m. Eastern over at Weave the Tale, where I will be GMing the finale of my 3-part Tachyon Squadron space opera, pew, 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 where they're going to go and save a space princess who is probably shooting some people right now because she probably escaped herself, but is not out of the... Anyway, you can go find me in a half hour for that. And tomorrow at 1 p.m. you can find me at Roll For It for The Last Ditch, which is a 40k thing, and I play like a shapeshifter. That's me, and follow everybody who's in this cast. They're amazing. We've got 4 more episodes. We're going to get Otto back next week, and I am so happy to have you all here. I'm so excited to play with this group. Take care of yourselves, have some tea, and if you start hearing weird voices,
No, you didn't.
It's fine. Bye, everyone.
Bye!